Jack, is this really what you wanted to talk about?
What else is there to discuss?
Really? You're gonna do the repressed Irish thing? Be Italian for like 1 second. I'm a Jack. I don't know who my father is. I'm so emotional. I'm gonna smash these barrels.
We're not discussing that because I've made a decision. I don't want to know who my real father is.
Are you kidding? Why?
You know what family means to me, Lemon? Resentment, guilt, anger, Easter egg hunts that turn into knife fights. Why would I want to invite more of that into my life? Why would I want more family?
Because maybe he's awesome. Look, Jack, I don't have a lot of personal life experience, but if I have learned anything from my Sims family, when a child doesn't see his father enough, he starts to jump up and down, and then his mood level will drop until he pees himself.
Oh, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Chris Antista, bad at audio. TalkRadar 62, people. Woo! We are getting up there, right? Yes, TalkRadar 62. I'm Christopher Antista. No one else.
I'm Michael Raparos.
I am Brett Elston, typing a message to Boondock Saint 54 about Captain America President.
Please don't do that. And we also have...
Good morning, Charlie.
Yeah, that's related to something that'll happen later. Who?
Oh, I thought you had a whole new audio clip.
This is new.
Good morning,
Like I'm in a montage, like the one we haven't heard in so long that I'm sure.
I don't even know where that is.
What?
I'll find it next time you're on, maybe, or not.
That's quite a promise.
Yeah, but I would like to drop a thanks to Black Element 17. He knows why. Yeah.
By the way, Boondock and Black Element are both readers. In case this is the first podcast you're going to listen to, we're referring to members from the community because we care.
On GamesRadar.com, evidently.
GamesRadar.com/forums.
If this is the first podcast you're listening to, I apologize
No.
for the rest of these people in advance.
We just got back from Comic-Con.
Oh man.
Was
You
there
know
any-
what my favorite part about Comic-Con was?
No, here it goes. What's that?
I really liked staying up working
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is fun.
while everyone was having the time of their life.
We had a couple good nights.
No, we did.
We saw Kaiju Big Battle live. I was trying to comb through everything. There weren't many big game announcements at Comic-Con.
No, there really weren't. But it was a good show. It was just really hard to work at.
There were shoulder to shoulder, trying to carry around podcasting equipment. We did put up a bonus podcast. It should be on iTunes and the site. I don't know what it's called.
It's on the tablet on the side as well.
A lot of I thought some interviews came out pretty cool. I thought the DC Online interview was pretty funny.
DC Online, Uncharted 2, Splinter Cell Conviction, which that's about 3 hours before they announced it was being delayed till 2010. So we have
Wait a minute. Hold tight. I have that. Wrong Splinter Cell is wrong.
Kind of a partnership when it comes to Splinter Cell with Microsoft, so it's a natural fit. You know?
Cool. That is amazingly cool. I can't wait for more. What's the release date on it?
Release date fall 2009. We're tracking, I believe, October 20th.
Nice.
Right now.
That's great.
Well, you guys.
Ooh, October in fall 09.
Of course, the reason we know it was delayed is so they can pass into a stronger 2010 financial year. An article that we'll be talking about later.
That game blew my ass off.
Yeah, it's amazingly. It sounds like hyperbole every time we talk about it, but I had no interest in Splinter Cell prior to this game, and then watching it, I'm like, I'm definitely playing this.
I'll even say I hated Splinter Cell. I was done with Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I only tried to play one, and it was Double Agent. I couldn't even get... Even the training annoyed me to the point where I played one more level and I quit forever.
Yeah, it was not the barrier of entry was too high. By Double Agent, it was like, I'm clearly missing out on something.
Yeah, like the training could get through, but I didn't know why I was getting through it. And when I tried to do what they were telling me to do, I failed utterly, and then from there it was just downhill.
Go listen to the interview. I don't want to talk about it too much again.
Yes.
I really did gush all over it, and it really is that exciting to me.
That's what all that
Finally,
was.
games using the medium to tell a narrative that
Say
no other medium can tell.
Yeah.
That's why it was included in the upcoming games that could be revolutionary.
Oh.
Yes.
So I just didn't believe it, and I should have when Brett said it because he's a cynical shithead, and he wouldn't be like, "No, it's cool," unless it was. But I didn't believe him. Splinter Cell Conviction. If I had to give a game a show, it'd be that because I didn't. Guess what? I didn't get to play again.
What?
At E3, God of War 3.
Oh, you did? You stood in line, though.
I stood in line. Had a velvet rope line, the longest line at Comic-Con, God of War 3.
Wow.
So how big is like the section for just going and playing game demos and stuff
my
at
only
Comic-Con?
anecdote there is finally I have to get God of War hands-on.
Did you see what it was? Was it just the E3 demo?
It was the same thing you played already. It was the same thing you described to me. The stabbing the birds to move upwards, and then you fight the Minotaur. No,
Centaur.
Yeah, Centaur, and
Tutars.
Unitar.
Jimmy Tutar.
And then I wait in the line, and I'm the last guy, and he's like, Sony guy's like, we're closed.
So sick of that.
And I'm
shit.
like, oh, well, what about this guy in front of me? He's like, oh, he's press. I'm like, really? And I turn and look.
And you weren't like, I'm press?
I said, never heard of you, and walked the fuck away.
Wow.
He said, never heard of you.
I did.
I stole a banana.
I did. I just didn't want to.
You said that to the other press guy or to the or to
Under
God of
my
War
breath.
3
I
guy?
didn't really say it to anybody.
Yeah, it really did make me feel kind of angry because the press badges don't mean anything.
Well,
there.
they obviously meant something for that guy. You didn't flash your own when he said that?
It wasn't just being told to get out of line. Like, it's not like I'm doing him a favor, but I didn't need to wait in that line. I know I could have talked to somebody and been put in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I hate doing that because Comic-Con especially is more about the public and everybody else being able to play this thing.
Yeah.
So I hate getting bumped to the front of the line. And I didn't, and I waited, and I'm just like, well, you can't do it. Well, fuck you. I don't care. We won't write about God of War 3. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck you. I've been waiting in line for God knows how long for no
Well,
reason.
it was at the end, so
It wasn't that long in the line, but I mean, yeah.
But yeah.
God of War 3 looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks very pretty. That's all I know about it.
That guy's probably listening right now, and he's pretty upset with himself.
The one who denied me an interview, too.
You know what else had nothing to do with God of War 3?
What?
This week's Top 7.
Top 7!
Oh.
I think in that situation, I'd just be too tempted to say, yeah, well, I'm more press.
I'm pressier.
Full court press.
Better press. Fuck you.
Words with press in them. All right, the Top 7 this week. That's what we do every Monday. Oh, man.
On GamesRadar.com.
Wait, I wrote this.
You might want to call it our flagship feature. On the SS flagship. What? It's not my fault people can't hear L's. L?
Oh, wait, no, you're right. You did say L. That was a flagship.
Yeah, there must have been a skip in the audio.
If only we had better equipment.
Yeah.
So what was the top 7 this week?
Why? It was the top 7 games from 2008 we can't stop playing.
Or
Palying, as it was written at once.
In the first pano?
The first time I wrote it, I'm like, looks good. Not Palying. Obvious idea. Games that came out last year that most of them were about to get sequels for, and the fact that we're still playing, and even if you personally are not, you listener who is doubting me, maybe?
Yes.
Millions of people are, or at best, hundreds of thousands of people are still playing these games.
Yep. Even if you want to be the chode who's like, oh, I hate that game.
I
stopped playing it the second after I picked it up.
Any of these games.
I'm better than you.
Yeah. But in this case, these games are still being played actively and a lot, and that's to say nothing of like
Often
the fact
by me.
that's to say nothing of shit like Halo 3 and Modern Warfare, which both came out in 2007 and are still being played extremely high. But basically, yeah, I had to come up 7 games that
7 games are still these are still in heavy online rotation.
And number 7 is Castle Crashers, which I only put in here because I played the shit out of this, and we played it in the office a lot, and I love it, and it just got announced for PSN, so everyone who didn't get it on 360, do get it on PSN.
Yeah,
excellent game. It's a perfect example if you want to find out why everyone cared about brawlers back in the day. It retains that fun, but then adds a lot more to it. But the reason everybody's playing, the reason it's on this list, is because there was a bunch of news blurbs about it that say they actually found out that it was the most played XBLA game of 2008.
Millions of people ranked on the leaderboard.
Yeah, and that
unique people.
It crossed 1 million users milestone. Like, I don't know, and the 1 million users milestone was recently. So it's like this game is still being actively played a lot, and it's 4-player co-op. Looks amazing. Has a very distinct style. The Behemoth are a great developer. I don't know. Even though I feel we blew through it pretty quick, it seems like everyone's kind of rediscovering it.
Well, I blew through it pretty quick because everybody who came over to my house and everybody in the office wanted to play it with me. And still, when people come over to my house and like, you play games, I want to play a game with you. I'm like, Castle Crash is perfect for that.
I have to say, you say you have a lot of games that you say every time somebody comes over to my house.
Yeah.
We play X. I want someone that make a list in the forums of all the games that Chris.
It's true. I say that about Portal and Rock Band and Castle Crash.
So you play all three of those whenever anyone comes over to your house.
Dude, you don't understand what
At
it's
the
like
same
to
time.
live in this city. There's still...
Yeah, Charlie and I don't know what it's like to live in
Dude.
the city.
Oh,
I don't either. I just did it for a couple years.
this is all hysterical. But, yeah.
Number 6.
No, well, the point I had... my roommate didn't dig it.
Right.
And at the time it came out, I had somebody staying with me. Remember my house guest, little Amy?
Yes, you're a pet stripper?
We play. She worked at a strip club. She
Oh,
was
right.
a stripper, dude.
Okay. Right.
Right? She's pure.
I'm sorry.
All right. And but Jacob's like, my roommate was like, I don't get this. It looks like a simplistic brawler. And I'm like, well, look at the presentation.
Yeah.
And even I couldn't justify. It's like, what does that mean? I'm like. And it took me a while. I'm like, well, think about Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a shit simple story, told through an amazing presentation. And that's what I thought the distinction with Castle Crashers was. Yes, it's a very simple brawler with an amazing presentation.
So Castle Crashers is the Lord of the Rings of XBLA.
Of brawlers, XBLA
Of
brawlers.
online brawlers that
With
are
yes.
the word
If you-
castle and crashers.
Yeah. Number 6. Top 7 2008 games we can't stop playing. Number 6, Fallout 3.
A game I can't start playing.
5. You have to start playing Fallout 3.
Me
So
too, actually.
Yeah, between that and Oblivion, I don't think those are two games I don't think I'll ever finish before the 360 is dead.
Yeah.
And I really want to dive into Fallout 3. I just every time I pick it up, like, all right, just finish something. I'm gonna start a new game. Fallout it is, and I just think, oh god, this is like 50 hours, and I'll be happy to do it, but I'm just knowing that I'll feel bad if I don't complete this.
It's utterly compelling. I played it already. It's just not in terms of story and look, but it didn't have there's not a whole lot of gameplay. It's a lot of running back and forth, looking for things, and talking to people,
And blowing the heads off of everything you meet.
You know, I think I didn't get into enough of that.
Well, you should get into more of that.
I gave a game. Usually, when you give a game 3 hours as a consumer, you'd figure you'd start getting into blowing people's heads off.
When you read 3 chapters of a 50-chapter book,
aren't you into the story?
You figure you've read
you
the
may
whole
be
thing.
you may be the first 3 chapters of any major
It's
book
not that- it's
barely
not-
have anything happen.
Again, it's not that it didn't grab me. It's just that, like, I can't.
Yeah.
I have actual work to do on
Yeah.
this console. I can't justify
Right.
quick gaming sessions with Fallout. And but I will say, remember, Charlie, you and I were in an achievement battle.
I do.
That switched. You gave up. You threw the towel.
I wouldn't call it that. I think I had a revelation. I made a New Year's resolution.
That's quitter talk.
It was the media. I blame the media, like Sarah Palin.
Sissy.
I had one of those too. I stopped caring about achievements suddenly.
Henry picked up your reins and he beat me, and I'm like, whoa. So I finished a bunch of achievements, surpassed him, and then I was like, I don't care. But then I'm like, wait a minute. And I just grabbed Henry the other day, like, you ever try and do that again, I will beat the shit out of you. In achievements, parentheses.
Right.
I will come at you so hard. And he did it again. And I went and I'm playing Fight Night 3. 1,000 points, bitch. Boom. And I surpassed him. He had trickery. I did this to you too, trying to pass you. I unplugged my Xbox to make you less competitive from Xbox Live. And he did the same thing, and he plugged it in again. He's 3,000 points ahead of me.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
I will, and then
Yeah, he only logs on to show you how far his score is.
and I looked at that, and then I got the Metal Gear Solid trilogy in the mail, and that's on PS2.
No achievements for that.
Exactly, and I'm like, I could either try and get 3,000 achievements for the sole purpose of defeating Henry.
Beating one man.
Or
Look
you could
at
play
this.
3 excellent
All right, so
games.
are you about to tell me that you have...
I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done.
Wow,
I'm done.
congratulations.
I don't know.
I'm done. No, look, because I'm like, I had it all stacked up. Then I'm going to get in a home court. I don't want to get in a home court. I want
That's
to
a
play
good
Metal Gear
game.
Solid 1, 2, and 3.
Home court's fun.
I want to play Mark of Kree in the sequel again.
Wait, now
The
you're
Kasai
not-
of Rise.
Now you're not making any sense.
All right. Also, because the reason Fallout 3 has lasted
Oh, yes.
this long is, as we mentioned, games it's like Oblivion, played forever. But also, there's been a lot of DLC that's kind of a lot, and they've been generous with it. There was one in May, one in June, and
Broken Steel, The Pit.
and
it's a lot better than the Oblivion DLC, where it's just like you get a house.
Yeah.
Here's a cave you can hang out.
And
in.
I don't.
There you go.
And having not obviously played Fallout 3 at all, it really seems like the new DLC, which is coming out August, Mothership Zeta.
That sounds amazing.
It's Fallout 3 in space, and he's fighting aliens. Is that just fucking crazy to me?
Sounds like Dead Space.
Like the game was like post-apocalyptic world, and it was kind of intense because of it's the real world reduced to ashes in space.
And
Like
Fallout 3 jumped to light speed.
It's like all this DLC sounds amazing when you hear about what it is, like point lookouts and like swampy marshes. And,
yeah.
That one I can't remember what it was called now, but it was in Alaska.
Yeah.
Then they always end up getting like these middling
Anchorage.
average, like they're okay reviews. I'm like,
Yeah.
how can this not be amazing? It sounded so cool. The setting is so cool. It's Fallout 3, the same engine.
I don't know. You know what else has DLC?
What's
Number
that,
5.
Oh!
GTA 4.
Oh, you
One!
did play
It has
GTA 4.
one DLC.
It has, it's pretty substantial.
I know.
Getting 2 more.
With one more to,
No, it's one more to go, right?
Yeah, it's going to be 3 episodes.
I thought it was 2.
No, you're right. You're
just
right.
2.
It is 2.
It's the 2. The Gay Tony is, I guess, still this year, right?
No news if PS3 will receive these. I'm guessing you think never?
I think they will eventually.
They said never, and I think it's just wishful thinking.
I thought
that going.
when Ballad of Gay Tony comes out, they'll have a disc with both
They
DLCs
will.
on it. That's a good sign that it will be ported to another console.
Yeah.
That could be. That wouldn't surprise me.
I can see that coming to
didn't
PS3 like
Microsoft
6 months
foot
to a
the
year
bill
later.
for these?
Yeah.
Well, they
Although the
Didn't they pay, like, for
accounts of that seem to
exclusivity?
differ. Yeah. Well, according to some sources, they loaned Rockstar a bunch of money, like $50 million, to
Yeah.
develop them. According to other people, they say no, they were always going to be in development, and Microsoft just paid them to make them exclusive, which I don't think is entirely true.
Yeah, I think that's the same way with all-time 360 exclusives. Not only will they bankroll you a bit, but they'll promote you a lot more than... And Sony has some kick-ass PSN stuff, but they do not promote it anywhere near as much.
Yeah, Sony's not good about
As
that
Xbox
at all.
Live.
Like, every time I look at, I see a really creative, cool game, and I'm like, wow, what is that for? PSN. Why do I not know this?
Yeah.
I mean,
If I'm
recently
not on there every day looking,
I just downloaded Explosion Man, and it's like that's really fun, but it's not as cool. as
Oh,
stuff
but
like
now it's
Flower
part of
or-
Days of Arcade!
Yeah.
Woo!
But
Microsoft!
the fact that Explosion Man, people are talking about it, just means that wow, they have great publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on top of obviously the DLC for GTA keeps it alive, but it's one of those games where you can dick around in that game forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because people are still playing San Andreas.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah, well, it's
Well,
one of those that,
actually,
like,
yes.
yeah, it's one of those that I never actively seek it out to play, but like whenever I do play it, like for work or something, I will just become distracted for hours. Like, hey, check out this ledge. I'm just gonna like walk into people until they fall off over and over and over.
You're
again.
absolutely right. If there's any reason for me to pop that game in, I just disappear into doing nothing after I've finished it. And it's, I don't know, testament to the game.
It's a huge playground.
Yeah.
Plus, you add the fact that there's all that multiplayer, which is like, do you want to race? Do you want to fly? Do you want to kill each other? Do you want to do this?
Not a lot of people on the multiplayer last I checked, but when you do it, we do it in the office, or I like agree with 4 friends to get on and do cops and crooks.
It's
fucking fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not playing it now, but I played it from April through at least July, and that was the only game I was playing for like 5 or 6 months straight. I had no time or patience for anything else. It was just GTA 4.
I hate to tell you, but April to July is not 5 or 6 months.
Oh, goodness. Hilarious, Elston.
You know what else is fun with 4 more people?
Sorry,
Number
jumped the
4,
gun.
Gears of War 2.
That is
Specifically
true.
because of the Horde mode,
And
which
5
is 5
people.
players.
Yeah.
I said 4 plus 1 more.
I know.
So yeah, Gears 2 is on this list.
Did you ever get that achievement for?
No, I did not get that achievement.
I would be happy to sit down and get it with you.
I still want to get
So
it.
you know how I got the achievement?
We're going to have a
in
24-hour
Horde mode?
game day on August 14th.
We are. That's right.
Well, which we'll talk a little bit more about a little later, but
we play with you guys listening and reading.
Yeah.
I got mine with a user Ted Didlio, who also stopped by the office
he did.
this week, and I thought that was really cool. We're really out of the way, so a lot of people don't. No one really stops by. We checked the front page. We actually had a reader stop by. I thought that was immensely
He's in
cool.
the forums, and I missed him because I was moving, but
It took a lot of photos of us, like we were animals in a zoo.
yeah, it's in the GamesRadar.com/forums.
Forums.
TalkRadar general thread. This guy, Ted Didlio, got to come visit. It's really cool.
Didlio.
But yeah, Gears of War 2, 8 months old, November 7th, 2008. and it's still being played mainly because the Horde mode, which since it was released has become like the de facto term to apply to any game that does this waves of increasingly tougher enemies. And then it's been done as Left 4 Dead Survivor mode, Call of Duty Nazi Zombies, Halo ODST has Firefight mode. Like, it's become a standard thing, and I don't think Gears of War 2 was the first to do this.
No, somebody called me out and saying like, Horde, like I was using Horde as a benchmark for Horde, and I know that's not true. I know PC games did it, but
that doesn't count.
The console games never really tried to do that.
Yeah, it popularized it, and that's why there's so many repeaters.
And they're so much fun. I don't want to play against some guy who clearly has more time to frag me and call me a noob all day long. But I'd love to jump in and build this is how you actually meet people online and actually occasionally build a lasting relationship with a stranger.
Yeah, you're much more likely to converse with them this way.
Exactly. Like, I actually plug in my mic when I play these games. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's the Horde mode. Obviously, the co-op single player that'll last you a while.
I'm good. I'm really good.
I know a lot of people.
You get to Horde mode, and it's like I can play that kind of indefinitely. And I really want to. When we do this 24-hour game day, I'm looking forward to playing some Horde.
I'm almost halfway
That
to
rhymed
the
really
2,000 maps of Horde achievement.
Oh wow!
Almost 1,000.
How close are you to the one where you have to? What was it? 10,000, 20,000 kills?
Oh, dude, it's way more than that.
The Seriously 2.0, I think it's called. It's 100,000. Maybe.
It's so far
You don't
beyond
care
whatever
about
I care to
achievements,
do.
Let's move on.
That's
not
right.
that, but if you break it down, I could sit here and kill 100,000 guys and get 50 points, or I could play home court for 20 seconds. We'll see.
Number three.
The
obvious one is Rock Band 2 in the sense that
whose sales have reportedly dropped.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I really think I love playing Rock Band, but it's not the kind of thing I need to buy a new version of every year.
I think honestly, originally they weren't going to even release it
They
anyway,
weren't.
and
They weren't,
you
but
would have seen the sales decline
Yeah.
as more people bought this, and you'd make money off the DLC.
Yeah, they weren't going to make a Rock Band. They'd always said Rock Band was a platform, but because Guitar Hero then
Guitar
aped it
Hero.
and made all these instruments, they're
Guitar
like,
Hero may kill this. Come to think of it,
well, yeah, they're doing too much.
I mean, as a result, take Rock Band with it. Just drag it down.
It'll really burn the. Well, just how like for a while, fighting games were the huge rage, and for a while, first-person shooters still are, but like dance games were a huge thing, and then eventually it dies, and the only thing left is the thing that made it. So that's why for years all that was left was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Out of all those games, that's all that survived. Was Street Fighter.
No more Brutal. No more Eternal Champions.
No.
To be fair, Rock Band's not innocent of pouring out stuff. I mean, they have Lego Rock Band coming out.
Yeah, that's where like it's already like I always wanted to defend Harmonix, but now with Lego Rock Band and that shit is really unnecessary. The game was already family friendly. You didn't need another version.
Yeah.
Rock Band Unplugged, however, I will
Fantastic.
defend to the death because it's awesome and that's back to the roots of Harmonix. That shit is great. Everyone should play Rock Band Unplugged.
Agreed.
The reason this game stays relevant for so long is fucking Harmonix DLC every week. If you don't like it this week, check back next week. That's kind of it.
Agreed. And we will tell you what's coming up this week.
Oh man, number
DLC.
two is the one that I the most personally can't stop playing. I played it a little bit last night. Left 4 Dead.
Being in a war doesn't prepare you for this. They never stop. They come at you, and they never goddamn stop.
There's the reason.
Not
Thank you, Bill.
Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Bill!
Oh,
He said never going to stop, and this is about not stop playing. That's very clever.
There you go. Captain Literal. Charlie. Go ahead.
Same reasons. 4-player co-op. This game built from the ground up for co-op. When you get 4 people, if you know what you're doing, it's incredibly addicting and fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're doing, it's still really fun. Anybody can play. Like you don't need any expert first-person shooter knowledge. And it's bare bones. Like you just. It's one of those things just like a Street Fighter or a Pokemon thing where on the surface it looks really simple. You are shooting zombies and that's it.
And it takes
but below there is so much going on.
It takes an outright disaster to like end a game completely. It's easy to die, but you can be healed, brought back, rescued.
You get a lot of safety nets, and even on Expert when we're playing and this horrible thing happens that is like, that's so unfair, we can't believe that the computer would even do that. It's funny. Because the AI director keeps the game different every time. Every time we play.
Chet admitted that last week when we interviewed him for a Comic-Con Spectacular.
Right.
That they update the game to make it harder and make it just to get rid of not glitches, but exploits.
Exploits, and Left 4 Dead 2, like, they're purposely designing enemies that are made to break up specific formations that are almost unbreakable in the first game. So I can't wait to play Left 4 Dead.
It's enough to make a player say,
"Oh my god!"
Oh right, number one.
And now I retire.
2008 game that we can't stop playing.
All right.
No number one. No Antonio.
Keep moving.
Jesus Christ!
I can play sound effects again.
Call of Duty. World at War.
The Doot!
The Doot! We're going to play some Doot Wah. I put this in here because it seemed popular. I've never played this game.
Are you kidding?
Never played it once?
Never turned it on.
No, it's every bit as enjoyable as 4, in my opinion.
I'm sure it is.
That's not true.
I don't think it's as visually interesting to be in World War II. And
it's not as interesting in any way whatsoever. But
are you kidding?
It's not written as interestingly. It's
I'm saying the multiplayer though. I'm not. No one's continually playing the single player.
No one's like obsessing over
but again,
Call of Duty 4's single player.
That can also be untrue because it's got
Very
leaderboards and competitive co-op, which is really fun.
Yeah, that's why World at War is still surviving. 8 months out. Same thing. It came out like the same time Left 4 Dead did, and Gears 2. It's the Nazi zombies and the competitive co-op with the waves and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. The Nazi zombies thing is really interesting because you always start with this. You start with a pistol and you have to work your way up from that and boarding up windows. Really unique.
Soda boosts
and
power-ups.
I checked on this site Raptor.com. RAPTR.
Oh, the Raptor.
Raptor. It's a game. It tracks. You put in your put in your PSN ID. You put in your XBLA your gamer tag, and it will track the games you're playing.
But how long? But not how long you've been making progress in the game.
No, like how long you have been online playing that game. And just all kinds of other fun tracking. So check out Raptor. Just it's fun fucking with data kind of stuff. With how long have blah blah blah. But I looked for what all of Raptor, of all of its tens of thousands of people registered for the site. What's the game most people played? What's the first one from 2008? The number one game played on the site, World of Warcraft. Not surprised.
I had no idea.
I know. I had no idea. 15 million people gave a shit. Number 2, I think, is Halo 3. Number 3 is Call of Duty 4. 4, yeah, Call of Duty 4. And then no, actually World of War was ahead.
Okay.
With 245,000 hours logged since it came out.
Wow.
And that's just the people registered on Raptor, which is a small sliver of the number of people who bought the game.
Although it's a very cool site, Elston.
It is. It's a pretty cool site.
We may have a friend over
We have
there.
no affiliation with them, but my friend works there, so I know the site kind of well. And it's cool. I like knowing that I played 27 hours of Prince of Persia, even though the game has no clock. But now I know how long I played that shit.
I just hate those clocks where I finish the game. You finished in 6 hours. I thought I remembered retrying 30 for 3 hours in this one part.
Yeah.
That's the top 7!
Is there anything else that I missed? Anything that you guys are still playing?
Michael's mouth is open.
I was just going to say, I do like that the first comment on here from Jacob816 is, why Call of Duty World at War over Call of Duty 4?
Yeah, there's a lot of
come
that.
out in 2008.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the comments where they're like, "Why did you pick what year?"
There's something called a headline.
Headline
I would have said Super Mario Brothers. That game has been played.
But hot_heart did point out, I think a few people are still playing 2007 games, and that is true.
You stupid, nutty, deluded fuck!
Jesus.
Penn Gillette. Jesus.
Yeah, Halo 3, COD4, Mass Effect, Team Fortress 2, like those 2007. Those games are still popular.
I'm playing some Mario Galaxy.
This is how Charlie sounds.
All this is beyond me. I had trouble with Lincoln Logs. Remember Lincoln Logs? I mean, that was it for me.
Sound effects from
nobody
weeks
remembers
ago.
Lincoln Logs.
I remember them, and I did have trouble with them.
Did you?
Well, we are from as people from the land of Lincoln.
Yes, we are obliged to buy everything with Lincoln's name on it.
The official sport, isn't it? Lincoln Logs?
Lincoln Logs.
I
It
think
is.
just
Lincoln Logging.
Lincoln in general is the state sport.
Everybody, we got a bunch of stuff for you. Coming up next, news stories. Finally, we're going to hit you with a bunch of DLC updates. We got a crap ton of amazing game deals. You got.
Oh, we got the game deals.
If you're not
are we
actively
announcing any
searching them,
contests?
we are not.
No?
We're not.
No contest winners?
No contest winners at the moment. They have not sent me the Watchmen DVDs. I just got on them about that. But yes,
okay.
we'll be back with more stuff. And,
Contest info then a little later of how you
Audio
could
Mayhem.
of how you could win.
No.
What are we giving away? Watchmen?
We have nothing.
Oh, the contest is over.
There's no contest.
What's the Watchmen?
Elson, there are no contests. We will be back in a second. Peace.
This is Kevin Murphy from RiffTrex, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
My name is Captain Monterey Jack, and I'm not tripping here, but that's exactly what you folks will be doing if you don't tie your shoes. Now, maybe your friends think you're square if you tie your shoes. You know, square? I got a square head, you know? 3 things that are square: cheese, plates, and bears. This isn't a game here, okay? This isn't the NBA, and my name isn't Charles Buckley. Hey, your shoes are time bombs waiting to explode. Boom, 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 shaking the room. Let's take some Q&A.
What if my shoelace breaks and I can't tie my shoes?
Hey, what if my nose falls off and I can't smell? What if my pants fall off and everybody's looking at my wiener? You deal or you die. By the way, your shoe's untied. Made you look. You have to know. You understand me? You have to always be aware.
I love you, Captain Monterey Jack.
All right, I'm not that crazy about you.
Okay.
I'm Doug. I think tying shoes is for sissies.
Hey, Doug, if I want to hear foul language, I'll go home. I'll turn on Marky Mark and the Funny Bunch. I don't need to listen to your smart mouth. You understand?
Yeah.
And shoe tying is not for sissies, okay? But wearing glasses is, so that guy's a sissy. Well, I gotta go, guys, but remember this. You can walk a mile in a man's shoes, but to get inside his head, you'd have to get really small and crawl up his nose. I'm Captain Monterey Jack. Thanks for your time. Ignore me! Ignore me! I'm fine!
Good morrow, TalkRadar fans. We simply must tell you about the new Games Radar podcast from our mates overseas, TalkRadar UK. Finally, you'll get to hear the other half of Games Radar and their eloquent opinions on things like current world events,
Jim Jong Jing.
the maturing state of the modern gamer,
Yeah. And you're more than entitled to, once you're 18 and able to buy the game, to make your own drugs.
the fine art of raising children,
They're not even your kids though, are they? Just keeping them hostage.
Just wander in. 2 kids you got in the cellar.
plus, grown men will fantasize about being rescued by Kratos.
He cuts through them just like this army that's keeping you captive, and he's really sweaty at the end of it, and you can just tell he's had a hard day's work, but he's enjoyed it, and then him picking you up in his big strong arms.
And most importantly, you'll hear exactly what happens when an editor is electrocuted for piss poor gaming.
We were hoping so. I wanted to smell burning meat by the end of this. Oh, this is pain puppetry, this is.
Oh, happy days. TalkRadar UK is live and kicking on GamesRadar.com and iTunes. Listen to the refined filth every Wednesday, and be a better person.
All of the characters in the following program are completely real. They're also friendly and cute and terrific decision makers. We who wrote this disclaimer, however, are bad and fictional and poorly groomed people who think they can fly and like to tease sharks. No one should pay any attention to us. We're jerks.
we're jerks. We're boiling our heads.
Poking our eyes out.
So what you gonna do, kiddies? What you gonna do?
You know that Brett likes the song Mambo No. 5?
I did know that. Coming back into segment 2 of 62, making sure that goes on record.
I don't actively like it. It's fine.
This is the new release segment. That you're hearing right now is the State theme song.
Wonderful State.
I have to plug a new release. I just got those DVDs. I'm in love. I haven't seen these episodes in 10 years.
I'm really curious to hear, some of our listeners, probably too young to really have even known about it. Mm-hmm. The State, when it was on TV, it was MTV's sketch comedy show. Most of those people went on years later to be the main stars of Reno 911.
Michael and Michael have issues on Comedy Central right now. Stella.
Yeah, Michael Ian Black has recurring failed shows on Comedy Central.
But it's so 90s.
It's so dated.
It's so dated. I really want to know if someone who was born in 87 or born in 1990
more or less dated than the Ben Stiller show.
Oh, Ben Stiller's show was straight parody. That shit is kind of garbage. It really is. Like, here's a few good men. Who the fuck
Well, you didn't like
cares?
the Lucky Charms serial killer? Or was that Austin Powers?
Andy Dick as Jacques Cousteau. Screaming about the manatee.
Jacques Cousteau was dead before a majority of our users were born.
So?
I'm just saying, like, but this is
for them not to know.
just a little more.
That doesn't answer my question.
Because Ben Stiller's show parodied specific films of the time, specific trailers. The state parodied specific genres.
Your cord's hitting the mic.
Yeah, specific genres that don't really exist anymore.
Like they're like parodies of MTV Sports and
Yes.
parodies of commercials that were trends that were popular in the '90s. Like it's just a microcosm of what it was like to be a teen in that time period.
And not only that, it reminds me of part of I remember because I watched these episodes. They haven't been aired in 10 years. They had a bunch of MTV music in the background, licensed music, so they haven't been able to air. They had to take them out on DVD. It took how long has the format been around? 14 years. DVD format has been around,
something like that.
And this popular show has never been available.
It's the first time that's ever been out on DVD.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. And at the time, this is going to date me so much. Like I didn't have internet. There wasn't internet. There was
It didn't exist.
It did exist, but we didn't really.
It exists in like a supercomputer in a
Yeah.
military base.
Well, it's
and that was it.
with like Prodigy,
1993
Yeah,
bulletin boards.
AOL Prodigy, CompuServe.
But say the state didn't have an official website, so I never knew when there was a new season started. So I became like obsessed with it. So I wondered like when did I become like a surly teenager?
Kurt Loder would tell you.
Kurt Loder. That's the thing. Like you see HBO promos like coming soon. I already knew the new season of Entourage was filmed and in the can, and it was coming then. HBO is the last person to tell me. But at the state, I just have to watch. Like I hope it's the new season.
Yeah.
And
what's on TV in general was at the time.
Yeah,
and
and
barely knew. Like I think it starts in September, but maybe not.
I loved it, and as far as I knew, it aired at without digital cable. It aired at 11:30 at night on a Sunday. So I'd stay awake every night and wake up grumpy as shit, yelling at my. And I feel like this is like the whole that and Liquid Television. I'd wait up, I'd wait and watch, and I'd wake up fucking surly, and I feel like that I was a guy with good grades. No drugs, respected authority.
That dog boy makes me want to drink.
Oh, dog boy! Dog boy!
Oh, Liquid Television.
Liquid
Stick figure
television.
theater is a good time.
That and all the masturbation.
Oh, that'll
that
get
also
you through
started.
That's
You
awesome.
I just remembered my least favorite masturbation story of mine.
Oh,
I'd
do
never
tell.
say I was caught, but I had this chair in my room that I used solely to wank in. And,
Don't sit in what?
And my
was it a special chair or something?
yeah, you could perfectly like sit
Did it
down and
smell
recline
like your
in.
mother?
He's making the motions here.
Yeah, you could recline in it, and like
Somebody take a
it got to
photo.
the point where right where my butt was, right where my butt was, it was like almost connected to the floor, and the rest just slanted upwards, so you could have get this, kids, a magazine right next to yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Smack, smack, smack.
So you could have your Mad
How
magazine.
old school?
Oh,
I
Stephanie
know.
Seymour, I know her from the Guns N' Roses.
Are you jerking off in the '60s? A fucking magazine?
Oh, he's got the TV guide.
So I'm
Elf. Oh,
Sears
catalog.
So this one time,
Playboy with Marilyn Monroe. I read it for the articles.
This one time, I'm getting the poison out, and my phone rings, which is also right next to the spank chair. And I pick it up. It's my grandfather. I don't have time for this. Mom! Mom picks up the phone. I get back to business. Bing, bang, boom. All said and done. And then I turn around and look at the phone, and it's not back on the hook. There's a cord. And I pick it up. I'm like, hello? My mom's like, that is not funny. I don't know what noises I was making and why she thought I could sustain an Andy Kaufman-esque joke for 5.5 minutes.
The important thing is that she did.
Yeah.
She convinced herself that must be what it is
Yeah.
because the alternative was too terrifying.
and she wouldn't hang
He's
up.
just kidding, Granddad. He is not wiping that up with one of our good linens.
I wish there was somehow audio of that. Oh, I'm so jerking off. Oh, I'll have to wipe this up with my Playboy.
Getting back to it, new releases.
Very serious face.
New releases. 20 years later, where I masturbate in a very dignified way. When my roommate's gone with a laptop at the edge of the bed, so the fan doesn't
Right,
come back in on itself.
Right,
Bounce
right.
it on the sink, man.
Yeah. And new releases this week. Speaking of which, Wii Sports Resort. What a segue.
Speaking of things that
are okay. Bionic Commando PC. Who cares? And Marvel vs. Capcom 2 allegedly this week.
It's out now.
It's out now. Is that right now?
MVC2 taking people for rides.
PSN or live?
Live.
Both. Oh no, it says only live right now. But
Really?
It's eventually supposed to hit both.
They like put the demo out on PSN like
yeah,
ages ago.
first.
Yeah.
First. They've got it first. I don't know,
What the
but
fuck,
speaking of
Capcom?
PSN, Fat Princess.
Ooh,
Yeah.
need to pick that up.
Fat Princess Blaz Blue, which is getting very, very good reviews.
Very good
Didn't
reviews.
that come out a while ago?
That's one of those games where I'll be really interested to see how long people actually play that. It's going to get a very devoted following because it's very intense, but it's like
the Guilty Gear folks
that's
have
going
a
to be
very
big at Evo next year, and then
small and devoted following. And I just skimmed over the reviews, and they all said like, "Whoa, this is hardcore."
Yeah. It's super dense.
This is really hardcore, and like, yes, there's been a resurgence in Street Fighter 4, but I don't know if it's enough to have.
Yeah,
to
it's
get
the
all
kind of-
these people to wade into Blaz Blue.
Yeah, it's the kind of antithesis to Street Fighter in a way. It's super technical. Like it's almost too complicated. There's too many bars on the damn screen.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And ostensibly, it's not different from Guilty Gear, which has already been around forever. It's just very pretty.
Yeah,
Blah,
it's very,
blah,
very
blah,
pretty.
blah, blah.
I'd just like to see it do well. I'd like to see a return to fighting games.
I would too, but I'm also for the same thing. I don't want the same thing to happen again, where everyone thinks they need to make a fighting game just to fit in. And like, well, we better put our fighting game out just to have one, and then the same shit happens again. Like to keep it discreet.
This is why I'm just so out of it after Comic-Con. Watchmen End is Nigh Part 2.
Yeah.
That out this week? The Blu-ray was out last week, and there's a director's cut that you got a pre-release of.
Yeah, the Blu-ray should be out.
What was that, the special edition? Or the...
Yeah, I got to review it for PlayStation, the official magazine.
I don't understand now.
They're selling a $50 set for the PS3. The 360 gets both Part 1 and Part 2 of the Watchmen game for $30. PS3 gets it for $50 with a Blu-ray of the movie.
Yeah, the exact same deal.
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad a deal if like you're a rabid collector and you really want like, oh, I want to get the Watchmen director's cut with a game thrown in for $30 more.
Is that game worth $30?
No. It's worth maybe $20 for both. I don't know. The first one's kind of crap. The second one's a little bit better, but they're both. It's just like they're very basic brawlers that throw exactly two kinds of enemies at you. Three if you count the reskin of the chicks in bondage gear, which is less interesting than it sounds.
Right as just as Alan Moore envisioned.
Yeah. It's like somehow I just can't imagine that Night Owl and Rorschach beating the shit out of unending legions of dominatrixes is quite what he had in mind when he wrote The Watchmen.
You see him right now up and down, jumping up and down on a copy of P-Tum.
No!
It's just games like that just prove everything that he thinks about the popular media.
And I want to say, I'm a huge fan of brawlers. I get pissed whenever I read a review of a brawler I like, and it's like they just say, well, it's just really repetitive. It's like, no, that's what brawlers are.
Kinda, yeah.
But this is really fucking repetitive.
That's like saying golf is so repetitive. They just keep hitting balls in holes.
Yeah. But
18 balls.
But this is like, okay, it's fun for the first.
What?
It's got hard.
Wow. It's 18 balls.
Jesus, what's supposed to be a showstopper?
Sorry, but yeah, it's fun for like the first hour, and then after that, it's just I'm just hitting the same buttons over and over again, doing the same fucking 3 combos.
It's like playing
against
Fighting
the
Force.
same like. There's literally in each level there's 2 kinds of enemies. There's the thug, and then there's the big fat thug. And sometimes they have weapons, and if you're playing as Rorschach, you can use the weapons. Yeah. That's always kind of fun.
You're too noble.
Exactly. You have like
I
tasers
will only
built into your
incapacitate
suit.
this man with my fists.
Yeah.
Except in the movie where I break a guy's arm in half. That's okay.
I think that maybe the difference in. I know I'm a little different, but in 2D, 3D brawlers, the 3D brawler environments don't differ that much.
We've all jerked off in front of our grandfather.
But not in front of him. He was on the phone. It's completely different.
That came many years later.
You obviously haven't had a hot grandfather.
You know he died last year.
That's a joke from a previous TalkRadar.
All right.
My mom was killed by a hot grandfather.
Masturbating into our next new release, Space Bust a Move. I guess as seen in Super Friends.
God,
Space Bust a Move.
That's a game.
Yes.
What's
for
it
the
for?
DS.
Space Bust a Move.
Space. Get it? Because now you're throwing bubbles with a pointer. It's space. Do I have a spacey sound effect?
Is it the Morpheus?
Is this the bubbles? You don't have moon rocks or anything?
Where do you see this? I don't even see this anywhere.
I don't know, man.
You
Like,
made it up.
Like seriously, I looked all this over on GameSpot, and I'm like, I don't know if this is what came out this week.
Oh, there
Also,
it is.
Resident Evil 4 on iPhones.
Yeah.
For $7.99.
I need to check that out.
I'm
That's
very
kinda weird.
curious. It can't be the whole game, right?
I doubt it.
But
Although you never
just
know.
Looked at the press release, and it's like, save the president's daughter.
I've seen one screenshot that was Leon fighting an El Gigante, and it's like it looks like it's meant to be, kind of. It controls like RE4 with it has a little thumb pad on screen.
Man, those things don't work.
And blown up, it looks like shit. But I'm sure on an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Most iPhone.
It'll look less like shit.
The balls to show like a expanded screen of what it's going to look like on the iPhone. We're out of new releases, aren't we?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
MVC2, I'm really interested to see how that is received. Because it's not an HD remix, it's just the same game.
No, we got
when I played it, it felt like the sprites were really small because it's so scaled back and that high resolution, those sprites are going to be smaller.
Yeah, somebody did a comparison on what HD does to sprites designed to fit CRT televisions of yesteryear.
Yeah,
and this is it's the Dreamcast version, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's a port of the Dreamcast version.
We got those albums.
Yeah, we got 2 of those records.
Yeah, we gotta see if we can get. I haven't heard any of the songs on it because I don't have a record player.
Yeah,
when Drew gets back from Puerto Rico, he can transcodify
to MP3-ish.
See what, because it's like songs. Are these remixes?
They're
of
remixes.
MVC2 songs.
Which are already horrible?
They were horrible when I do this podcast. I want to find an MVC2 remix. Nobody remixes that music. It's terrible. Yeah, no one had done anything new with it. I would love to see what Talib Kweli, how can I say his name? Talib Kweli has to do with this and that. DJ Qbert, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Kweli?
So, yes.
He was the voice of Train in Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure.
What the hell is that?
That's
Mark
that
Echo game.
Yeah, Mark Echo game.
Oh. That wasn't in one of the award features.
Which one?
One of those awards.
An award. One best moment in
a
game that doesn't deserve an award.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who likes news stories?
I do. I have one.
They're all right.
Go for it, Elston. You said that we Splinter Cell Conviction and
Red Steel 2.
Red Steel 2 are pushed back till 2010, and we played the reason why, or our silly. That was literally the day before the news broke.
He said this is coming out October-ish.
No offense to Shane. Nice dude.
Don't forget Ghost Recon 4, which people didn't really even know existed until they delayed it.
Jesus, I didn't know it existed.
Well, it's not Advanced Warrior. So
it's just Ghost Recon.
I'm so baffled right now.
I like the fact that Assassin's Creed 2 has had a black edition, and then they made a white edition. So now there's a black and a white edition. I don't know. That just
available at a water fountain near you.
I know, and I'm just like, what are they going to do when they sell out of one? They're going to have to put up a sign that says blacks only.
Oh, it's at the
you
back
are so
of the
racist.
GameStop, sure.
Whites only.
Some people just see 2 editions of the
what
game.
is the difference between these editions?
I don't know. I don't think it's in North America. I think it's a Europe.
Don't ask that question to Chris because he'll give you some.
Is it in Holland next to that billboard?
If Michael Jackson was still alive, I think he'd say it doesn't matter.
And then I think he would turn into a panther.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to talk real quick is...
Do what else?
Oh, here we go. I saw it on Edge Online. Nintendo hopes sales of third-party core Wii games will, quote, pick up. Basically, the company that's making a shitload of money by doing the same thing it always does is saying, well, good on you for trying Conduit, Mad World, House of the Dead. Basically, Sega.
We're not doing that anymore, but I appreciate it.
And he says...
We're glad that we could have the opportunity to ruin you again.
The quote is, I don't know why they're not selling. It's hard to say. It could be titles have the same type of sales curve that a lot of Nintendo titles have, which is that they don't follow traditional sales curve where they launch big and then that's it. Our titles have a long tail.
Yeah.
No, here's what it just got me thinking and talking about that earlier. Looking at the back of my Nintendo Entertainment System Deluxe Edition box,
yes,
it had a bunch of advertisements on games available for third parties.
Yeah.
I don't see the Wii pushing anything.
They really don't.
Other than that E3, that isn't theirs. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. They don't put it. I don't think they put any muscle behind.
They do. They seem to occasionally when it's a game that's trying to do something. Like Red Steel 2, Nintendo was promoting at E3. Shaun White, they were promoting at E3.
Want to know why?
They showed the logo for
they
Chinatown
supported
Wars.
their peripherals.
Yes, they supported their peripherals, and that's why. But did you see Nintendo like fully back Conduit for really trying? No, they didn't.
Never. No. Mad World. Well, these are all mature games. I'm trying to think of a.
Conduit's not mature, is it? It's teen.
I'm saying I was thinking of Mad World and
House of the Dead.
I never saw them say anything about those.
We're hopeful that titles will catch on, and consumers who already have those games will spread the word.
But meanwhile, Grandma's hungry.
Meanwhile, they won't. And this is all leading to an article I've wanted to write forever, and maybe I'll just finally do it. It's the idea that we didn't change anything. Nintendo's doing the same thing it always has, and this is the exact. Only they managed to pull off a very marketable idea, made some quick money, and rose out of the quick, like they were spiraling downward. Every system was losing money. Was losing.
Smell barbecue. Go ahead.
Me too. Why does it smell like barbecue? Are we all having strokes?
It could be
a delicious stroke. N64 sold less than Super. GameCube sold less than N64. They needed something, and then they did it. But the third party's same problem. Anyone who tries to make a decent game ends up eating it, and then just some quick cash grab, motion control bullshit because it caught on does sell. And somebody who makes a $20 game benefits, while somebody who tries to make a genuine $50 game, you're effed in the A.
Hey, it's another. You like horses, pets too,
Yeah,
but it's
so-
only $20.
Yeah, so I'll be really curious to see what happens with Nintendo's next console, because this shit's already happening where people are only going to play Nintendo's games on it. Blah, 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 blah.
Here's something I thought was hysterical. In the vein of, you see the thing about 4chan, that AT&T had blocked
Yes.
certain 4chan things, and they created fake rumors to drive down the stock price.
Of AT&T?
Of AT&T, they made a rumor, and it was dug by 3,000 people that the CEO had died and was found dead on his doorstep. Not true at all. Like, no one bothered confirming it. It just spread throughout the net. I love that they could do that.
That was 4chan's retaliation?
Yeah, 4chan's retaliation.
Okay, because I was, over the weekend, and this week, I moved, and I canceled all my Comcast service because I hate that company.
Yeah.
Those guys are dicks, and I hate them.
I told you several times
They
in San Diego.
they called me, those people, that is the worst company I've ever dealt with. They don't.
I remember you were like,
It's too big. They don't listen to anybody.
Already bitching, and then you had like slapping your hand. That's all said and done. We get done to San Diego. Oh, we're confirming our appointment for Thursday. I don't live there. I don't want.
They're calling me for appointments that I never made and asking me 7 times if I want to transfer my service. No, I canceled it also because you didn't tell me you had a collection agency coming after me.
No.
But anyway.
Anyway.
So I'm like, oh, I'm going to switch to AT&T. The day I decide to switch to AT&T Internet, which I've already heard was better, more reliable.
Is it DSL?
It's DSL.
DSL blows.
I've heard nothing but contrary.
Blows. My roommate has a fucking house phone. If a phone call comes in on that phone,
you can get
the
DSL
internet
without a phone line.
Drops.
I have.
He's had it for like 6 years, but I still don't remember that happening.
You can also buy different packages of speeds. Anyway,
it doesn't matter.
The moment I
Upload
decide
stuff.
I'm getting DSL, oh, they pissed off 4chan. I can't get AT&T now because what the fuck is 4chan going to do? Who knows what they would do?
Yeah, I know.
And why would you pick on?
You know they're in cahoots with Anonymous, right?
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, first, just AT&T doing that Big Brother shit of censoring a website in the first place. It's just...
It actually, I think it turned out it was kind of an accident.
Well, they already undid it.
They undid it.
It's undone, so...
It wasn't to censor 4chan because it was available on all their mobile devices.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that there's still some power left in a community...
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
I was waiting to see what 4chan would do, and that's hilarious.
Sorry, this is the news story. COD fans buy up URL modernwarfare4.com, and the opening message when you got there, hello! Exclamation point. Hello! If you're reading this, you may well be the web administrator for Infinity Ward. If you are, there is a chance that you may require this domain. Don't worry, you can have it in exchange for a little goodwill gesture, in quotes, for the little gaming community that owns this domain and has been playing your games for years. We'd like a copy of the game that this domain would be used for. 1 copy for each and every member of our gaming community.
That's it?
Yeah. But I think at the time I read this story, they had it was in the 60s. But Imagine that if they cave, then like everybody's gonna go jump in, blah blah blah. And this is for like Modern Warfare 4,
Right.
which could be years from now.
Could be like 4 years.
I'm sure 3 was already taken in some way.
I just think that's but at Modern Warfare 4, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, Call of Duty 4. Oh no, no.
No, well, what's funny
they've
is they
changed that.
they easily don't have to use Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah.
Activision has no reason to call the game that.
They're
Nor does Infinity Ward, I should say.
They've put up a new message.
yeah, they put up a new message.
Yeah.
What do they say? It's like,
They
because
said- After reading recent articles on this site, I have been forced to change our policy on this domain. The old message to Infinity Ward is here. Please read. As I have received emails calling me a blackmailer, we have decided to wear balaclavas and make some real demands. And there's a picture of a clown and a picture of a ransom note that says, "Give us MW4 or the clown gets it."
They really want a game 5 years from now?
Uh-huh.
I'll gladly give you a domain tomorrow.
I think if it was a more pressing release, they would have to cave so as to let people know they're paying attention to what the community says.
They don't give a fuck.
That is not true.
It's probably going to be COD Modern Warfare 4, the game. Something.
Yeah, even if it's such a small... It's a small demand if only like 60 people were on there.
You guys are underestimating the power of URLs. Like, people will buy up URLs. I've seen this company talk about buying URLs that would be more beneficial to one single thing on the site.
And then buy it up with money, but then
Yeah,
in a
but
big
this
public
is a-
exchange, like, okay, we're giving you all free games.
But this
your
is the thing where
blackmail
they
works.
may not even have to call it Modern Warfare 4. The game may be called something completely different. They may.
Yeah, well, not disputing that at all, but I still think it's a funny story.
It is a funny story.
There you go.
It's funny that they thought they could get
I
away
just
with
think it's
it.
funny that they're not asking for copies of Modern Warfare 2, which they could play now.
Yeah.
Instead, they're going to ask for Modern Warfare
You know
4
why?
in like
They don't-
2013.
They don't have the fucking level.
And
How much do you think it costs them for this domain?
what if I bought Modern Warfare 6?
In knowing Tyler Wilde, someday we got to get in here and to get him explained to all the URLs he buys by looking at.
Oh
trends.
man, he buys a lot of URLs.
He does. He really does, and it's pretty funny.
I used to own PokemonChampions.com.
I am still
Used
the
to,
proud
what
owner of
happened?
AIDSbooger.com. I am not actually, but nobody go buy that. I need it.
Wait, so what happened to PokemonChampions.com?
I just got tired of it.
All porn.
I was gonna
porn.
start a Pokemon blog, but that's when I was like at the height of my nerdy Pokemonness.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of I was tired of it.
Oh, so you didn't sell it for millions of dollars.
All
to
porn.
I
Nintendo.
definitely did not
Let
sell
me cheer
it.
you up with some other news. We already showed our proof of Splinter Cell Conviction being pushed to 2010, even though that's not really proof. Whatever. I just like the Red Faction hits 1 million in sales.
Did it?
Hey, how
Oh,
about
good.
that? How about that? Cross-platform. This is specifically for me. Did we all see that story on
What, they're making Muppets of the Planet of the Apes figures?
Close? Epic Mickey. For the Wii, the creator of Deus Ex has
Really?
been reportedly working with Disney, and this guy on his resume put his portfolio online. And I'm gonna post some of these pictures, and they're fucked up. Steampunk Disney, like underground, like Epcot crumbling to pieces as a
Wow.
robot Goofy and Country Bears.
Wait, by the creator of Warren Spector?
Yeah, Warren Spector.
He's doing a Mickey game?
Yeah. It was based on they based the speculation on a Gamma Sutra article where they had speculated that he was working on a Disney game, and then this one guy who puts Epic Mickey on his resume with this artwork, which I believe has been taken down since, but I'm going to post a little. Hope they can get away with that. Steampunk Disney game. It looks extremely bleak.
Oh my
and
god,
crazy.
is this one of them?
Yes.
That looks amazing.
Tilt it around.
It's like all the theme parks on some giant horned whale. Is that what that is?
Wow.
You see the MGM Tower
It's like
there, and
Disney Sin or something.
the Starship Earth at Epcot, the big silver golf balls, like got huge chunks blown off of it.
I only want to tease this, so you go to our website, GamesRadar.com, and look at the TalkRadar 62 page, just giving you another reason. But this is also a nail in the coffin, like what I said for the console Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
dead and gone.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to create their own as we speak.
Well, that's okay if it's like this.
No, I think even Final Fantasy fans would agree that those characters
Barely had
are
anything
not utilized.
Yeah.
What, does Disney own Sora and all those, or is that Square?
I want to say that, if anything, that would be the joint ownership. Not even
Right.
necessarily, like, I think one or the other could walk away with a Kingdom Hearts title. I doubt it.
Right.
But it's probably better off
I
creating
would think
this
if
thing.
Disney owned them, you would see that merchandise at Disneyland when you go to it, and you never do.
That's probably true.
They never have anything
They don't
to do
have
with
any
Kingdom Hearts there.
things there?
Not that I've ever seen. I've been
Yeah,
to
not that I've
Disneyland
ever
like
seen
2 or
it.
3
Besides,
times.
if you try and
last
find
few years.
the Kingdom Hearts merchandise that was available, it's not anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Stuff that was just in regular stores?
Well, that's probably because they're
I know
probably sweeping it clean at this point because they don't want it.
No, I saw some like a month ago at a comic book store. So
You did? How much? Go look up the
$20
Series 1 Kingdom Hearts PVCs. They're hundreds of dollars.
Well, really? I have one in my desk drawer right now. I haven't opened it yet.
Could not those, not the action figures.
The figures are different because that's a license that someone pays to make toys of it. I'm
Kinda,
talking
yeah.
like at Disneyland. The reason you probably can't find any Kingdom Hearts stuff now, or even in the past 2 years,
Or the past 5 years.
is because at that point that deal was going sour.
Yeah,
Try 6 years ago.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm telling you, I go to Disney almost every year and it wasn't there.
I know, but
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts was 2002. I bet
Every
in
year.
2002.
05.
Every year.
05.
Wasn't there.
What was 05?
06.
06 was 2.
2 was 06.
Yeah,
March.
but I never.
All right, fine. I've never been to Disneyland.
Either way, let's get into Talk Radar Audio Theater or whatever the fuck name we'll end up ascribing to this segment of the podcast.
A year after we've intervened.
I can't. That's the only reason I wanted to make a little intro for it. But what
Talk
would you call
Radar Audio Theater.
There it is.
I didn't know we had a segment that was just to do with audio. I thought you just played audio throughout the whole podcast.
No, but there's a segment where we go and dig through and find old stupid ass audio.
Yeah.
And Charlie Barrett, I used your article that
Oh,
went
that's
up
excellent.
this week. What was it called?
It was the 15 worst reviewed games of the past 15 years. Kind of a specific title, but that's because Metacritic only goes back to a certain number of platforms, so it's hard to find what the worst reviewed games are without using a website like Metacritic. So, 15 years. Back to PS1.
This article fascinated me to no end.
Did it now?
It did. Well, one, I was mad because Homie Rollers didn't make it on.
It was in the article, yeah. So,
you know what? I checked the Metacritic. It wasn't too good. One asshole at worthplaying.com gave it a 50. He said, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. Everything is broken and sucks. 5 out of 10.
Wow. He doesn't know how to write games.
He just gave it the wrong score.
No, he doesn't know how to rate games.
He gave it the wrong score. And everybody else, like the closest one to that was 1-4, and then it was all 2s and 1s.
Yeah.
Well, worth playing, I think, is amateurs. I don't think they actually pay their reviewers,
Maybe,
do they?
because it was like, all right, before we start slamming our colleagues.
But if I'd gone...
I'm not trying to slam them, and if that's wrong, then I apologize.
No, fuck that. Fuck wordplay.
Okay, fuck them.
But I really wanted to get Homie Rollers on here. I tried desperately to change the rules of how I was... the scientific, mathematical rules of how I was choosing these games. And I was like...
just didn't make it.
Homie Rollers kept being like the one that was just off my 15, and I didn't want to do more than 15.
Do you have the article up right now?
I do.
What was the first one on? It's Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, the first one is Charlie's Angels for GameCube. It was also on PS2 in Europe.
I will get to that, but the one right after, immediately following that, is the Hooters game. Hooters Road Trip?
Hooters Road Trip, which one of the first comments is like, there's a Hooters game? Awesome!
There's not only a Hooters game, I'm going to get... No one will guess who this is.
Hi, y'all. Welcome to Georgia. How you doing, sugar?
That is from the Hooters
Is it Road
Trip game. Is anybody familiar with that show, The Girls Next Door, the Playboy Girls?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which has been spun off into new things now.
Kendra.
No idea.
Kendra
Not
is a
Kendra.
giant whore.
That is
or
Holly
something.
Madison from the show with a different nose and a really, really bad
Hi,
Really?
y'all. Welcome to Georgia.
Wow.
How you doing, sugar?
We'll embed that in
It's
the
not even
article.
an accent. That's just
You
her.
do a Georgia accent?
That's her
Show.
That's her reading Georgia like text, but as a regular. Hi, y'all. Welcome to Georgia.
What am I
Sugar.
doing?
Hi, y'all.
Like somebody
hola,
wrote
amigos.
SUGAH for her, and she read it that way.
I am
Hey,
a Georgia peach.
Como estas?
I was trying to find more stuff from that because clearly they insert Hooters girls to get you through the level. You just made a high score, boo.
Yeah, so I didn't actually have to play these games to write this, thank God. But yes, apparently this game you see like a 5, if that, like a 1 minute blurry video clip of them if you finish in the top 5 in a race, which is apparently almost impossible because it's such a crappy game and hard to control.
How you doing, sugar?
And then, but before that was Charlie's Angels, which the worst or the best of this list starts out at what percentage by a Metacritic?
This is an average of Metacritic and game rankings, 23.5%.
23.5%, and
so it doesn't sound too low, but when you think about like that worth playing, giving things
there's
5 out of 10 and all the 7 out of 10, that's
It's a
really
great thing
low.
about game reviews. Someone's always going to like something somebody else hates.
So this is really like a 2.35% when you put it in real world terms.
Everybody kind of universally agreed this was shit.
Yeah.
But what fascinated me, of course, Miami Vice was also on there.
Well, not Miami Vice on PSP, the one that never came out
Only
here.
in Europe.
Oh, Wayne, you're a
And
bacon. They get all the good stuff
Based
there.
on the television show, not the movie.
Yes.
And its audio was
with
boring.
vague likenesses of the original Crockett and Tubbs.
Yes.
And apparently the plot is just taken from one of the episodes of the TV show.
Oh no, it's terrible. But the Charlie's Angels one has fantastic voice acting. And remember, a long time ago, we played that Turkish company, Michael. You know that did the Disney knockoffs,
Right? Yeah.
This sounds.
Phoenix.
Here's the newsman who opens it up because apparently someone is stealing national monuments.
New Yorkers woke up this morning only to discover the shocking disappearance of their Lady Liberty. After the disappearance of other monuments, including the Arc de Triomphe, the Stonehenge monoliths in England, and the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.
The Octo Triumph
in London, England.
Well, he sounds so.
You know who he sounds like? He sounds like the guy from Last Alert.
Which
would make sense to none of our
Steve,
readers.
with Chairman Steve,
the guy who does the intro.
Yeah.
You'll have to dig that up and play it.
That guy didn't.
As a break, we'll play it as a break.
Oh,
that guy did not sound shocked at all.
maybe.
Just
I
like,
want to try and hammer it out with you. We're going to sit in a room tomorrow and figure out which state sketch is short and translates to audio. I'm fascinated.
Let's do it.
I love it. And
I know which one.
There's voice talent in the game. We all know, even if you have a vague recollection of what Charlie's Angel sounds like, we all know what Charlie's voice sounds like. Not this Charlie.
No, we all know that I sound like a Filipino boat boy.
Here's what what Charlie sounds like.
Good morning, Charlie.
As you've seen, the head of the FBI is at a loss.
It's supposed to be Bill Murray.
No. See, this one to give you a time period. This takes place during the second one. Who played Bill Murray's role?
Oh, I don't know.
Bosley in the second movie.
Bernie Mac.
Was it Bernie Mac?
The late great Bernie Mac. And so this is a.
Wait, but he wasn't Charlie. He was just the.
No, Bosley
the guy.
is the
Right.
You never see Charlie.
Right.
But you know the guy goes, "Good morning, angels." Your
Right.
assignment is, again, this is what he sounds like.
As you've seen, the head of the FBI is at a loss.
Obviously not him.
This guy's shriveled old man.
Here is Bernie Mac's character doing the late great Bernie Mac, Bosley.
The president himself has requested our help.
That's the wrong
A
button.
giant cargo ship was spotted off the Easter Island coast. It's currently on stopover in Los Angeles. Now, we should check it out.
Bernie Mac. And I only say that, I only point that out because who was in the movie? Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu. Do provide their voices for the game.
Really?
God, yes.
And their likenesses.
And their likenesses. And
God,
a long time ago-
Like two of the programmers apparently do the other voices.
Big quotes around likeness.
A long time ago,
Producers
someone
like,
was
nobody's gonna care. Just get somebody from marketing.
Why do the Hollywood voiceovers suck in licensed games? And it's like, because literally the actors do not give a shit. They want the paycheck, and
they
they're
probably
in and out.
barely know what they're recording for.
They don't give a shit. The people casting them don't give a shit. They're like, who's cheapest? Okay, go with him.
Not even cheapest. Not even cheapest. There is no effort given here. This is Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz.
Break it down, Boz. How do we get aboard?
In order to approach it without drawing too much attention, you girls will sign up for the Miss Bikini contest on the beach.
That ought to keep the sailors occupied. While we gain access to the ship. And once we get aboard?
Well, if there are any interesting clues, the captain's got them.
Well, what the fuck? These people know how to act already.
Exactly.
And they probably have all done voice work for animated features. So what is so hard to wrap your mind
It
around?
sounds like one take.
One take, yeah.
Well, it sounds like they're going out of their way to make it bad. Because
Yeah,
it's like they're talented, so you know they can. Just a first take, they should be able to do
fuck,
okay.
any one of us would know, because voice acting is such a cliched bad thing, that you'll be like, okay, I can't just monotone deliver this. Even if I bad act, it won't be. Well, that'll get us.
Maybe they did like multiple takes, and that was just like, yes, let's go with the monotone one. Holy shit!
Drawing too much attention, you girls will sign up for the Miss Bikini contest on the beach.
That at least has
That ought
some
to keep
life
the
to
sailors
it.
occupied.
Exactly. You can tell by the
While we
fake
gain
Bernie
access
Mac.
to the ship.
Maybe that's the only
And
take
once
where
we
their
get
cell
aboard?
phones didn't ring, or they had to interrupt for their assistant.
But you only know in press for this that Drew Barrymore was like produced this, like she owned a giant chunk of this.
Of the movie or
Of
the
the
game?
movie.
Okay.
And so that's that's why Hugh Jackman didn't provide his voice for any of the Wolverine X-Men games until it was based off a movie he was producing,
right?
And had his name all over to make money off it. And so all the girls appear here, and here's just another example.
You girls can't answer the phone without
The
something
music.
catching on fire or flipping over.
Good point, Boz. We'll try not to blow anything up. If we encounter a hitch,
We'll keep a lid on collateral damage.
Anchors away, angels.
God damn it.
That is sad.
love that. It all sounds like the DVD menu of Ocean's 11. But also on the list, and I had to get more of this. Michael discussed this in his unfunniest games.
Are we going to Leisure Suit Larry?
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yes. Box office bust.
Only because I got this line.
Oh man, that hurt. Is I roofied? Is my ass bleeding? Why do I have a headache?
It's not funny. It's just I know if I said those lines in Secession, I would get in trouble. But this, Michael said there was Dave Attell in it. I'm like, is Dave Attell funny? He's like, terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst performance of his career.
But he's terrible, but it really made me laugh.
Who is he playing?
When I heard it.
I can believe he would do it to be bad.
Yeah, he's playing like a mailroom guy, and like the various characters that mailroom guy plays in Larry's Nightmares or whatever.
But he's one of the, or no, is that David Cross? One of them is like the voice of one of the random Marines in Halo or Halo 2. And
that's David Cross.
Yeah.
The key is there for the taking, and I wish you the best of luck. Not.
This is, I think, during like some kind of boss battle. David Attell, I love David Attell.
I like David Attell.
And I especially love his fake, mad, drunken laugh.
Mm-hmm. Closer!
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Look at me. You're
tearing up.
I'm all like giggle. And the last one, we should all check this out because these are only 4 of 15. But this is Elf Bowling #2.
Okay.
Well, what? I thought you said Alf Bowling. I was waiting for bowling. No problem.
It's no problem.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, thank you.
Do more.
When I was on... I don't
say Nico, my cousin, in that voice.
Nico, my cousin. Hey, dude. Has anybody seen any cats? Elf. Had 2
Help me,
cartoon
Ron.
series. I wish I had another catchphrase. It would really help Chris out right now.
Do you have other audio from this game? Or?
No, I do only just because this is. I remember. I remember
Steve, right.
specifically that my friend's like, "You like games? I found this great game," and she showed me Elf Bowling in '99.
This is back when it was free on the PC.
Back when it was free on the PC, and then now it's a free DS game. Good, they deserved a fucking
free DS game.
Is it? It better be. I've never heard of a free DS game.
No, that's what you said, but yeah.
Surely it's not free.
No, it's not.
So why is Santa naked in one of these shots?
That's not Santa. Naked. That's one of the. I was going to say
he has boxer shorts on.
This was a tense moment at Games Radar the other day when Henry was CMSing this feature, putting it up.
Like Santa's naked.
He was like, "Hold on, I think we have a problem here. I think this elf has 2 dicks."
Yeah, he thought there were 2 dicks.
And I was like, "Oh, really? I thought those were 2 knees." He's like, "We better call Chris in." And like Chris came in like a specialist, roped in from the ceiling.
It's gray right there. There's boxers, and I did that with such authority because like I'd rather be wrong and post a nude pic.
Well, what's great is his concern wasn't he might be naked. It's that he took the extra leap. He might have 2 dicks.
1 is okay, but 2.
That is profane,
and they're both grossly out of proportion with the rest of him.
But it does look like a cop is trying to arrest a naked Santa
with 2 dicks.
And being
this
Henry
is
Gilbert.
it's on Dig right now. It's on Games Radar. It's the 15 worst reviewed games of the past 15 years.
Henry Gilbert, senior editor of Elfcock.
And you really should read to the #1 because this game is kind of famous for being the worst reviewed game recently.
Video.
It's really bad.
The video, Big Rigs over the road race.
It's the only one that I think is so bad it's good again.
I was laughing in one of those. It was so funny.
It's ridiculous.
They build a town that you drive through. I guess that's literally.
Yeah.
The guy didn't bother to turn and drove at full speed through houses.
but like no collision at all. You just go through the textures.
And the first time he drove towards the bridge, then he veered off so you could show that you just dived immediately into the trench with no
and
physics.
Then when he veers off the road, the racetrack completely in this truck, and drives. It's for surprising distance to the horizon, and they bothered to model all of this shit poorly.
I know.
And then it gets to the mountains, and then you can drive off the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, you can keep driving into
All
oblivion.
that looked like happened is his headlights would get further and further from the car.
God.
beautiful game, and I think Charlie said that's the patch version.
And that's after the patch version because it's called Over the Road Racing. When it originally shipped, there were no competitors to race. It was just you.
Wow, I love the bit where he drives into the ravine and then comes up through the bottom of the bridge.
Oh, it's so.
And apparently, it said there was gonna be 5 tracks, and then there was only 4, and they finally released the 5th track with the patch, and it ended up just being the first track in a mirrored version.
All right.
It's like the worst thing.
We'll get through this. We're more audio theater. Really trying to think of a name for this. If you can think of a name for a segment where we play weird audio, put it in the forums. If you can think of a name for a new intern, Joe Newman, put it in the TalkRadar 62 forum thread. We will figure this out and possibly divvy out prizes. I have some really awful Blu-rays to give away. They're still technically worth upwards of $30.
I hope you like copies of Click.
Brett Elston, you had some audio to play.
Yeah, while I was moving and packing, I often put all my game music on randomize. And that includes a bunch of shit that I've not listened to in like 20 years.
You wouldn't bother putting on any playlist.
Oh yeah, that would never be. It's just everything I have, just to make sure that I hear everything I have.
It keeps you in shape.
Yes, in case I have to get an impromptu video game music trivia off. But that includes audio tracks where people act. And I heard this one, and it's from this Sega CD game called Vi, which Charlie knows because it's on iPhone.
It's on my iPhone.
Mine too.
Yes.
iPod.
It's an okay game, but it's Sega CD era, so as you may expect, the voice acting is also like, you speak English, right? Come on, come over here. It's not Spider-Man bad, but
it's pretty bad.
All right. But no, this
stolen my teeth.
This is
gave me a teeth.
Spider-Man.
All
right. This is all a reference to podcasts in the past.
He's almost as old as me.
Wow.
Dr. Octopus, you've stolen my hair.
Oh, right. Fucking pulling out the Thundercat sword.
The sword and the bone.
Give me sight beyond sight, damn it. All right. This is the ending to Vi, and it's funny only because of how stilted and straight the dialogue is delivered. And the names of things is like, what should we name it? Let's name it Cromdor. It's just
the land of WrestleMania.
Yes, it's just it's so boring, and I just wanted to share it. This is the ending.
Sandor, your service to your kingdom, to all our lands,
and that's not Zoidberg,
has been exemplary. You are the hero to an entire world. Step forward, Sandor of Lorath, and accept the title of king.
Oh!
Whoa! It's a dance
Yield
party.
you, my lad. Step forth.
Come on!
Wait, my
Sandor,
bitch nigga.
Everyone's watching. What's the matter, Sandor? You deserve it.
But am I worthy of it? No. Is anyone? What kind of future can I promise the people?
Sandor, the future isn't something you can give to anyone. Each of us must choose that for ourselves.
Jesus Christ. Sadu almost robbed us of that choice. He would have made us slaves to his
I just
technology.
love the music. Like,
Yes. You saved our future from the ghosts of the past. Don't worry,
That's probably
Sandor.
literally ghosts
You'll
of
make
the
a
past.
splendid king.
Thank you all. You truly are good friends.
Good. Now step forward, son.
Okay.
In view of the heavens and before the eyes of all, do you swear to rule and defend, guide and protect the kingdom of Lorath and all therein?
Yes, Your Majesty.
So be it. Now, accept the crown of your father. Sandor, son of Eric, I crown you king of Lorath. Turn and face your destiny.
That's it.
Wow.
Then after that, it's about 40 seconds of applause.
Well, before we go into the third segment, I wanted someone to try. I got this commercial. I think it's from India about a game character we all know and love with a completely different voice. What? All right, who is this character?
Hey kid, what you doing watching this stupid film?
No one has any idea anywhere.
No one?
No more. You can't provide any more context.
No. You'll get context immediately.
Is it Sonic?
God damn it!
Don't you want to have fun playing Sega?
Oh, I didn't hear Sega.
It is Sega. It is the Indian Sonic commercial. A billion years too late for specifically for India, but here's the rest of it. It's only 20 seconds.
Sega? Sega who? Wrong answer, pal. Show him.
It's new. It's wild. It's Sega. International Sega TV games are now here. From Shaw Wallace.
Take it. Want some more? Yeah.
Unlock your mind.
Do I?
The Hawaiian emphasis was mine.
I didn't realize English was prolific enough in the early 90s to market Sega that widely in English.
Yeah. We laid us white people laid waste to India.
Yeah, I mean, India has like hundreds of native dialects. I mean, English is just like it's easier to talk to people.
All right.
I mean, I may be wrong. I don't know.
No, you're right. It was colonized. Well,
everybody's
right.
This is a British colony for God knows how many years.
All right. Well,
I'm sure the
Michael's
British and the
oppressed us
Indians
with
do.
our Western dominance.
Yeah.
It's not our fault. I didn't do it. I'm Italian.
Oh no, Italians never did anything bad.
Bitch is up next. Game deals.
Going with my oppressed Irish roots.
Game deals, and I think one of the more interesting questions of the weeks we've had in a while. Be prepared to think.
It's a doozy of a question of a week while simultaneously being kind of obvious and straightforward, but it's something that everyone has an answer to.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
In an effort to class up the show a bit, the state is proud to present the following scene from William Maguire's prize-winning modern drama, Tenement. The story of an unemployed dock worker who's forced to move in with his alcoholic father and with his wife who refuses him a divorce. Now, we did have to soften the language a bit for television, but we feel the message of the piece still rings clear. Ladies and gentlemen, Tenement.
Aren't you going to ask how my day was?
How was your day?
Poopy. Another poopy day. I took number 2 from every dum-dum in this Mickey-Ficky neighborhood today. Thanks for asking, dummy head.
I'm not taking any more of your fudging bullpucky, you cockeyed fellow. I took it from my screwy flick of a father. And I'm not gonna take it from a poop who's too wienerless to fight for his own stinky job.
You pineapple! You fuzzy cootie! They gave my job to fudge-eating nickel pickers, and I come home.
Both of you, Dick Tracy's! Cut the sheep dip! I don't want to join you asphalts in your tinkle-tinkle contest, but this is my spit house, even if it's a messy mess. And if you two box-plucking bozos can't stop, cut the doo-doo. Oh, turds. Fudge-sickle.
Poop! Poop, poop, poop! Poop, poopy, poop, poop!
Johnny.
No! It's my fault. I killed the old fork and spoon raspberry. Darn me to H-E double hockey sticks. I'm not worth 49 cents.
It's all right. We may just be 2 sacks of fogged up crapola, but we have each other. And we can take all the stinky this world dishes out. Come on. Let's get milk-faced and hum like rabbits.
Man, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
My name is Jonas. I'm carrying the wheel. Thanks for all you've shown us. This is how we feel.
We missed a lot of Rock Band bullshit since we've been gone. I didn't do it. There was Blink-182, Rancid, Live Kiss, Rise Against, Kings of Leon. This is Weezer's My Name is Jonas.
Oh, wow.
One of my favorite songs. And I remember when Rock Band was coming out, and I thought it was just a Me Too game, and I hated it.
Yeah.
On that aspect. I knew the story behind it. I just didn't need another one.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was.
And
too.
Guitar Hero 3 had My Name is Jonas. And that and Knights of Sidonia, like, I'm a Guitar Hero 3 guy.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. And now I love it. Takes it away. I can just toss that game out. My Name is Jonas. Rock Band. Let's run screaming into the game deal segment.
Take my advice, do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
Almost worked. Game deal segment. Holy shit. GameStop, Jesus, till August 2nd. That, I guess it's like 2 days after this podcast airs. Elston, would you like to chime in?
No.
Okay. Animal Crossing City Folk. All these are $20.
It's a horrible game. Don't buy it.
I didn't say the horrible game.
It is. Did you play it?
If you've never played an Animal Crossing
Go
game,
play
and
the
you have a Wii-
GameCube or DS one.
Just saying. Well, I guess.
Or just the GameCube one, the
Get
DS
the-
one.
Yeah, get the GameCube one. It works on your Wii.
You are okay. Like seriously, like real quick. You have a Wii. It's your first game system.
That's sad.
You have the option between the GameCube version of Animal Crossing and City Folk.
GameCube version.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
The online adds nothing to me. I don't think it does. I think anyone who's playing that enough and really gets in it will have a friend that's into it, and it's much more fun, as clumsy as it is, to swap memory cards and actually visit the town. The game is laid out better.
All right,
the
all right.
controls work better. It's just a better
Nostalgic
game.
bias.
No, it is. Just
You're gonna bring you back. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, I believe. Play with Wii, $20.
Also crappy.
Is it?
I don't like the Wii controls at all.
Sidebots.
Sidebots is good.
$20
yes.
$20 game.
$20 game.
Good
is
shit.
That is definitely worth $20.
Fear 2 Project Origin, $20. I love Fear games at $20. I don't know about you.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah. Lair, $20 game. Michael, you've had the most experience with it.
I wouldn't pay $20 for it.
Really?
That's more of a $7.
It's cheaper.
game.
It's cheaper on Newegg.
It's better now that they fixed the controls and took out the tilt motion 6-axis bullshit, but it's still kind of a crappy
Are
game.
you taking into account PS3 gamers' desperation?
There's so many better games on the PS3.
And
Come on.
I'm emphasizing this only because GameStop is the last outlet to drop prices on anything ever. Because of course they don't focus on new sales. These are new. Layer Mad World, $20.
Oh.
Good. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I guess you probably, if you don't own it already for some, you know what? If you want to buy this game at $20, you don't listen to this podcast. Silent Hill Homecoming.
Worth
Good
$20,
deal
definitely.
on a game I wouldn't normally recommend. Wanted Weapons of Fate, a game I actually kind of liked.
You should probably rent it though. $20.
$20 would be what I would say is about fair for that game.
Yeah, I don't rent.
I've heard it's like 4 hours of it's really fun 4 hours. So $5 an hour, sure.
Wario Land Shake It,
good,
greatest game I've ever lost. Wario Land Shake It, Wii Music, $20.
That's $20 as well. Wario Land Shake It.
Yeah,
man,
greatest game I've ever forgotten.
Go
to
pick
have.
that and Sidebots up. Those are good.
Yeah. And Best Buy is having a giant $19.99 or $9.99 PC game sale involving it's almost every piece of their inventory up until about 4 months ago. But I just wrote down COD 4, Devil May Cry 4, Grid, Crisis Collection, World of Goo, all $9.99 PC games at Best Buy. That's it. Let's get into the community segment. I will announce contest winners for Watchmen and 300 soon. I just need to get. I want to make sure I have those DVDs in the office to send out immediately. So shut up. Yeah. Community segment.
Oh, community segment.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. GamesRadar.com/forums. Again, new users all get read. I didn't read last week's because I forgot, and we didn't get a chance to read them during Comic-Con.
I just said don't.
It was Comic-Con, so
yeah.
Really stressed out. I will read everybody this week. New users who sign up get read.
Go for it.
Favorite posts get read.
I will be hitting random sound effects.
You will get mentioned on the podcast. Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm.
Last week's question was question 45. What superhero game disappointed you the most in kind of celebration of Comic-Con? I immediately disqualified anyone who said, really? Already?
I'm just going to be hitting random sound effects. You talk.
Wait till there's something that interjects, not just in the middle of a fucking sentence.
Go, Elston!
All right, question 45. I immediately disqualified anyone who said Superman 64 because, of course, it is
Most
bad.
people didn't play that.
Yeah. However, Bloody Valentine did say the Aquaman game, which is way bad. I saw it at a friend's house. Wow, it's appropriate for once.
Indeed.
That Aquaman game, the cover alone is just an arm holding a trident. Like, we feel we are not confident at all, even in this character's iconic status, that we even want to put him on the box.
He has the most recognizable underwater pitchfork.
That was one of the games that was too good for the 15 worst reviewed. It was in that little collage of box art.
Both Egregious and Johnny Sixgun mentioned Spider-Man and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge for Super Nintendo.
We're liking that.
That's the thing. I remember liking it too.
I'm willing to be wrong.
But yeah, because when I saw it, I'm like, hey! But, yeah, that's not fair. When I think about it, I'm like, no, I just really like the music, and I liked the novelty of having a Spider-Man and X-Men game.
Yeah.
The actual game
Which is a weird
it was
thing. They were like, whenever there was a new game out, they would put Spider-Man in it.
Yeah. Or the X-Men.
Or the X-Men. A lot of Spider-Man, though.
It was weird that it was the current X-Men team at the time, including Cyclops' old, awful white X costume.
Beautiful.
Like, I have to advertise all the time.
All right, keep going.
Anyway, Rabid Cabbage, Watchmen The End Is Nigh. Absolutely abysmal, stupid, brainless, nonsensical game. I think Michael agrees.
Yep.
Canadian bacon-flavored nipples said Batman Begins. Because that was supposed to be a very Splinter Cell-y game, and it was always advertised as, you are the Dark.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's so scary. Not Dark Tomorrow.
I know.
Oh, Dark Tomorrow was very close to being on that list.
Yeah, that was that was like what Arkham Asylum was.
Apparently, according to an interview that Kotaku did, Kevin Conroy doesn't remember doing that.
Doing
Dark Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wow. Dark Tomorrow was kind of the same way Arkham Asylum is being hyped now as the legitimately cool Batman game. Dark Tomorrow was pretty close to that level of like, this isn't based on the cartoon, it's not based on a movie, this is the comics, and this is serious.
Yeah.
And also
it was terrible.
The Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
that's
That
really-
was also really
yes.
close to making the worst review.
That was a terrible game for
that, Dark
PS1.
Tomorrow, and Aquaman are all very close.
I had Batman Forever and... No, go ahead.
All right, I give you Funk Butt. Iron Man on the 360.
Dude!
And I just want to say, this is a little jumping the gun, but I saw Iron Man 2, and Chris saw a little 2 as well, the game at Comic-Con. And anyone who thinks the Iron Man 2 game might be any better, probably not going to be the case.
What, did I just see something on Games Radar that said the opposite?
Did we?
Yeah, Henry wrote something about
Yeah,
how,
I would only say that, like...
No, he said
it's
that
got a writer from the comics
No,
on
he
it.
said that Matt Fraction is writing it, which is a good sign.
Here's
and it is.
I
Matt
played
Fraction
both.
is Iron Man, like current guy on Iron Man, so that's good.
I watched somebody play that, but the mechanics have been improved. But it still looks to be Tony Stark fighting robots.
Yeah, punching
throughout.
robots.
The same robot. I know it's an early build, but it's
an early build, but like
that's all Marvel games can do to stay under the teen rating is to beat
robots.
Beat up robots.
I don't know. So I'm already not excited about the Iron Man game. I couldn't have been more bored watching that. But it does have a year to go, so whatever.
And Henry is excited.
I'm glad Mad Fraction's writing it. Go read a comic book, please. It'll be more entertaining.
Well, Henry actually hasn't seen the game either. So.
Yeah. Evo Anubis actually pointed out, said, anyone that says Superman 64, that's like everyone's favorite punching bag and it's getting stale. He said Spawn the Eternal for PS1.
Oh my God.
Which
Good
is
point.
Yes.
Yes.
Really fucking bad. Like, and he's like, he embedded a video in the thread. Did you see a cape or chains or anything that defines who Spawn is? Nope. No. Terrible game. And then strange. Hangover Glory said The Darkness.
Really?
Darkness. And I have to be like, you're completely wrong. But
I thought that was one of the better superhero games.
I thought it was a fantastic game. He points out that the game never mentions the fact that if the character was to have sex, that it would kill him.
Yeah, I did hear a lot of people who were really into the comic hated the game because it's a significant departure from canon, but I mean, that's nothing new.
Right.
I mean, that happens every single time one piece of media is adapted to another piece of media. Changes get made.
I played the Spider-Man 2 movie game, and I'm fighting Mysterio. He wasn't in the movie, and I didn't give a shit.
And that's...
On the other hand, that was like one of the funniest moments in any game ever.
Yeah, it was. It was really
the
cool.
boss fight against him in a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And I guess he did say the question was disappointed, not what's the worst. So.
No, I know, but I'm just like, granted, I know less about The Darkness than I do any of the Marvel games, but the game was fantastic. You're defended, Hangover Glory. You're excused. You can dislike it. This week's question... Oh, wait. New users who signed up to answer question 45 and 44 from the week before. So this is a long list of new users, so you're getting your shout-outs. Captain Capslock. Corpse Pufo. Hey! China Antista. God. Jelly Jiggler 29. Panhead? I don't know. I stole my grandma's wheelchair. Doom 000. Games Radar makes me feel old. And you got to be careful with this one. Big Nick Digger. Had to send an email around about that one to actually ask. What can we do about people mixing letters?
You sent it to me, and I thought, he needs to be banned. Oh,
yeah, he needs to be banned. He needs to be banned immediately.
Girl.
Oh, wait. Big Nick.
Big Nick.
Digger. Can't do anything about that, technically. Stefan the Mongol. Ass Blastista. Are you making all these up? Variations on your name?
No.
Would you kindly? Ratsor. Spam Hammer. G-Man 2486. At the Real Brelston, who's...
That is correct.
Obama's Grey Dick. Madre Penetrator. Fuster Cluck. Raisin Brantista.
You stupid, nutty, deluded fuck!
Tastes like pizza. And then Me Wee Tarded. Both with eyes. This week's new users.
Jesus.
I know. Sausage Lozenge. Soren.
Perfect.
Chode Muffin McSpermatron. Yes. Is a user.
Oh, yes.
Just yes.
That wasn't taken.
Bust into Buttercup.
Wait, my bitch, nigga.
Bonerville.
Time to get moving.
I Give You Funk Butt, previously mentioned. Polyester Avalanche. Ronald Raygun.
Good morning, Charlie.
Cake Clown.
As
Warhammer.
you've seen, the
Warhammer 3025. Which is funny because that makes me want to see a glut of people's names, just game names. Hi, I'm Super Mario Kart on the forums. Digital Lover.
Live.
Cornsplosion.
Hey!
The Story of Everest. And Chris's Lady Friend.
Oh.
Wow. Really? Yes. All right, you're all covered. Now,
What's the question this week, Elson?
Question of the week. Difficult one, but supremely simple. Question 46.
I do want people to think about this.
Think about this and answer either in the forums, gamesradar.com/forums, TalkRadar podcast, or on the article that Tyler Wilde will be posting on the site. QOTW, blah, blah, blah. What are your top 5 games of all time? You there listening.
Yeah, top 5 games of all time. I eventually want to wrangle these up together and see if we can get Games Radar's community's favorite
Yeah,
games
like
of all time.
if we
That'd
get
be really
enough,
cool.
if we get enough, and we get a good a selection, we could post this as an article.
Yeah.
The results of this. So, who wants to go first?
Well, you need to make an important distinction here.
What's that? Oh,
There
right.
you go.
This isn't like games that floored you, whatever. This
I
is-
was such a big
it's not-
fan of Braid.
This is like games that you truly love these. You will play them. You will
Over
never. You will.
and
You will,
over
yeah,
and
you will
over.
play them. You will never not want to play them. Like example, I loved the first Metal Gear Solid. It completely knocked my ass off.
Mhm.
Came out in '98. Loved it. Nothing like that. Not necessarily something I'm going to want to play 7-8 times in a row.
I'd say the same thing about every Zelda too.
Yeah. Like Zeldas I love, but I rarely play through every Zelda over and over. However, one of mine on mine is the first Zelda.
Yeah, that's the one I played over
I
and
can
over
play
and over.
Zelda 1 and 2.
There's
but-
another world?
Yeah, Zelda 1 I can play every year, go all the way through it, and I love it. It still retains this sense of mystery to me, because as a child it was a complete unknown what was in that game. The world was that big, there was nothing on a console, especially NES launch area, that was like, here's a world you can go find shit.
Yeah.
And there's hardly any clues. Ah, God, that game's so good. Mega Man 2, I will love Mega Man 2 forever. Perfect music, perfect gameplay.
Yeah.
Love it. Final Fantasy 2/4, Final Fantasy 4. I probably play that once every couple years. I beat every version of it that there is. I think I own like 5 different versions on different platforms of that at this point. Mario 64. I don't know. That was another one of those magic moments where the first time I held that N64 controller, ran around in this 3D world where I can stand on top of this giant hill and I can look around and see everything instead of just seeing the one screenshot.
There's a bit of overlap, but
oh well. But like just seeing that, I got that feeling of, oh my God, this is the first game that made a realized world. I can see what Mario's universe actually looks like in one image, like pan around this mountain. Not surprisingly, most recent one on here is Mass Effect. I completely love Mass Effect.
I
and
depressingly don't have anything that recent. So.
ate the shit out of that. If I had to go anything beyond that, maybe like Metroid Prime, the first one. Charlie, what about you?
Well, I'm sure you can guess at least one of them.
Gabriel Knight, Chrono Trigger, Bioshock.
Gabriel Knight.
Wait, start through slowly.
Gabriel Knight, Chrono Trigger, Bioshock.
You've gotten 3 out of the 5.
Which Gabriel Knight?
Can you actually name any Gabriel Knights?
Sins of the Father.
3.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But which
The
one
best
is that?
one.
That's the first one.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the first
my bad.
one. Okay.
The other 2 are... Well, we won't go into that.
They went down.
Nobody wants to hear me talk about that. But yeah, I mean, I could have chosen just 5 point-and-click adventure games, but I kept it to just one. But this isn't really the top 5 games I could play over and over. More ones that have just the strongest feelings for me. Like I have really fond, nostalgic memories of all of them.
Go through your top 5.
Okay, Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father.
Hold on, I have a sound effect for that.
I'm sure you did. Chrono Trigger.
That's good.
No sound effect for that?
I really wanted to burst into Palace Swap Ninja Rejected song. Okay.
I was going to wait for the end to say Bioshock since that's the most recent one. And that one, I kind of put that one, I couldn't think of a 5th one, but it gives me hope. Like, that's the only game I've played recently that said, like, wow, you could do a shooter, you could do an action game that really has this, like,
What you can do with this medium?
this story. And we've talked about this before. Anyways, let's see. The other 2, Final Fantasy VI.
It's a good one.
And
Not going to argue.
And Aladdin on Sega Genesis.
Wow!
No, that's the right answer.
I'm actually not sure. I'm going to go back this weekend just to prove. I think it may just look like more of the cartoon, and the Capcom version for the SNES may have been better.
I like this. I like the
know.
Super Nintendo one too, but the Genesis one's better.
Yeah, well, what I remember hearing was that like the Genesis version was not only animated by the Disney people, but
Yeah.
it was also a genuinely better game.
Yeah, that was my impression as well. Because
That was my impression
And
15
the
years
Super
ago.
Nintendo one is just jumping around and throwing apples.
I actually played the Super Nintendo one. I thought it was really weak.
No,
back
at
in
the
the
time,
day, at the time.
I think you're right. I mean, there could be an argument made
I'm
for the
very
Super Nintendo
curious.
one.
You know they'll cut off the ear if they don't like your face?
Really?
Yeah.
Was that still?
That's an
was
edited
that,
lyric
yeah.
from the original Aladdin. I am a dork.
Yes,
Somebody kill me.
you are. Oh, Final Fantasy VI is the only game I've ever pre-ordered.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
I did pre-order that.
Wait, as a 6 or 3?
3, 6.
3, yeah.
If there was 3 at the time. It's 6.
October 1994.
Oh, Jesus. Who wants to go? Michael, you or me? I'm still.
I can go.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Smash TV.
Fuck!
I love the shit out of that game.
Wow, I did not expect to see that.
I'll always play that. Contra 3, I played it again today for the first time in a few years. Yeah, I have that entire game mapped to my muscle memory. Like, I didn't even have to think about it. I'm just going through, and it's like, I know exactly what to do, where to jump, where to shoot.
It's Contra gaming of the least.
Yeah, I think I finished that like
Really?
6 or 7 times.
You don't know Contra 3?
No, I know Contra, Super C, and 4 better than I know 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even remember Contra 4.
That's the DS one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But fantastic, fantastic DS one.
Yes,
but
yes.
3 is quality shit.
I watched Michael pass out playing that during our endless set list here in a beanbag chair.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Like, this is Green Grass and High Tide's over with.
We were playing the Rock Band endless set list, and we look at Michael's falling asleep in a beanbag playing Contra 3. 4, derp.
Yeah. Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2, basically any iteration of the franchise, I love.
It was very hard for me not to include something Street. Like the
I'm kinda
arcade
surprised
one
you
was the
didn't.
one that just completely hooked me. But
I played the shit out of 2, and I played the shit out of Super, but I don't really care to go back right now and play either one.
It's not one of those things where it's like I would actively seek it out, but like if somebody wants to play, it's like, fuck yeah, I'll do a few rounds of that. You know, Super Street Fighter 2, the fucking movie game. Street Fighter 3 is Street Fighter 4, any of the alphas, any of the verses. It's like, I love that shit. It's amazing. Also, kind of a similar sentiment with GTA 4. You know, I've always, you know, I always.
Is that your favorite of the GTAs?
So far.
Yeah.
You know, my thing with GTA is I'm always looking forward to the next one. I always will play the last one. Always love the last one.
Yeah.
And yeah, GTA 4, you know, it kind of surprised me because I went for a while, like I finished it on PlayStation when I did the review. And like, every time I'd go back to it for a while, it's just like, I'm just going through these same missions again. It's kind of boring. And then I played it again to capture some video, and I just started dicking around. And it's like, holy shit, I forgot how good this is.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said earlier, just shoving people off of cliffs and stuff. Just seeing how you can fuck with the world is always a lot of fun.
What's number 5?
Yeah, it was a hard choice between Fallout 3 and this, but I'm going to go with Tetris.
Wow,
because
I'm glad somebody had the balls to do it.
Tetris is it's the perfect game. It's extremely simple. I can always play it.
Yep, for a very very long periods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Tetris.
Really?
It's because I'm not very good at it.
Well, I hate
you. Dude, you didn't touch anything.
Nope.
That just happened.
That just happened.
I saw his fucking hands.
That's frightening.
All right,
How can you
all right.
not
I'm gonna
like
try and do
Tetris?
mine. I have
I don't
a
hate
shit
Tetris.
ton of slashes. Number 1 on my list is Mario 64.
Yes.
Mario 64 because it did a billion things amazingly, and it's not one of those. I don't have to go through the whole game to get to this one part that I like.
Yeah.
I can go straight to the part that I like, do a little to get the part that I like, or I can finish the game and I still feel. That's why it's one of those games I can pick up every couple of months, start fresh, and it doesn't matter.
It's one of I remember like the level that's in the clock, where it's all vertical, based around the pendulum swinging and the gears. I would purposely put the game in first person, where like right behind his head,
dude,
and run through that level. It's like almost impossible, but because it was so fun, I just like, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna get through this whole stage, all the stars from
Even
this.
the fucking lava level is so incredibly I don't know, just filled with craziness.
Yeah,
That lava level is it's a lava level with 16 stories. How dare I don't know. There's so much stuff to the stupid lava level in Mario 64. Mega Man 2, it's everybody loves Mega Man 2. Everybody proclaims to love Mega Man 2, and then I got that Dingu, that portable emulator.
Yeah.
And I show Henry, watch, give me a level on Mega Man 2. And he just showed it to me. Watch, I'll get through this without dying.
Right.
And he was actually like, wow, because I play Mega Man 2 that often. Like, it's very comforting. I know when to jump.
I usually don't die the whole game.
I'll die occasionally on this and that. Flashman's level, please.
We should have you guys have a Mega Man 2 off.
You mean Quickman's level? I'm sure.
I do Quickman's level.
Already.
Wait. No, Flashman's level with the.
That's Quickman's level. Wow.
No. Oh, you need flash to get through it.
You need
That's
the
what I'm
flash to
thinking
get
of.
through it.
That's what I'm thinking of.
And you technically don't if you're good.
Yeah, all right, good. My anecdote didn't mean anything.
Technically don't if you're Brett, is what he's trying to say.
Number 3 is another Mario game. Can anybody guess which Mario game it is?
Yoshi's Island.
3.
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario is here in some respects.
You did have hallucinations because of it.
Yeah, it's Super Mario 2. I have to.
Really? Wow.
I have to finish Super Mario 2
The
about
black
once a
sheep
year.
of the family.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
It is a lot of fun. It is, of the original NES ones, that's the easiest for me to jump in and fuck around with.
Yeah.
Because 3 is too daunting, and 1, I couldn't have played that
There's all
more
these
as a
weird
kid.
pipe zones that you have to throw the stupid potion down, turn it night, and then, I'm in another... There's a bunch of weird shit to do. If you did it all, it would take you hours and hours and hours and hours. And I did it on the Game Boy Advance version.
And it's also really good for speed runs because there's a bunch of tricks and really quick ways to get through the whole thing.
That's true.
And I'm saying 4. I wanted to put that as a slash with DuckTales, but DuckTales is in there.
DuckTales.
Whether you like it or not, whatever. DuckTales is in there. But number 4 I had is Counter-Strike.
I was gonna say Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike I played a lot, and even it's only been technically 2 iterations officially, but I was there during the beta, the unofficial beta before Valve bought it, and I was there when Valve bought it, and I was there in Source, and they're all kind of the same, and I'm pretty good, and I think it's one of the most balanced and refined first-person.
I'm waiting for them to do some kind of Counter-Strike XBLA.
The Condition Zero, I think, ruined their experience with that.
Really?
Well, I mean, that was not Valve,
right?
But it's not a great game.
There's no way they'll let
originally that's how Steam propagated. It was all of a sudden overnight. You need Steam to play Counter-Strike online,
right?
And it sucked. And I didn't. I told Shep I didn't get Steam until this year because I was so mad at you because I had to download hacked programs to get onto a Counter-Strike server without Steam because it didn't work initially. Now it's pretty flawless. Number 5.
Yeah. There's no way they'll let the Counter-Strike name go, though. They'll do something eventually.
Number 5, I got Portal. I got Dr. Mario and Portal.
Portal was.
Wait, how many slashes did you do?
Too many. Wait a second. Who's coming in the room? Oh my God!
Holy shit! It's Dan Amber.
Hey, Eric!
Jesus, Lord.
Oh, hi guys. How are you? It's Dan Amrick.
Dan Amrick, step aside, Chuck Barrett.
Oh, Charlie looks so sad.
Suck it, Gabriel
He's
Knight.
frowning.
Dan, how are you?
You know, I'm all right. I'm
are
all
you?
right.
I got some disturbing news over the weekend.
She's pregnant?
Better not be.
Not have to punch that hard.
She better not be.
He's pregnant?
Not if I'm bothering to pull out. That's.
Oh, how we laughed at your sexual indiscretion.
What did you just announce recently?
It kind of snuck out that I don't work at OXM anymore.
Hold on, that deserves a what? Where to go?
Is it because the bias checks for Microsoft were not enough?
Yeah.
Anymore?
Yeah, I just basically, my price got to be so high that they could not afford my positive opinions of fine games like Fusion Frenzy 2.
Right. Well, shame on them for putting out good games.
Yeah.
Like Fusion Frenzy 2.
Yeah.
Dan is off to work at he's off to work at OIP, official iPhone. And
yeah, that's what I keep hearing.
What? Official iPhone.
OIP.
So yeah, the short version is I was not fired and I was not laid off and everything is cool. Actually, I found a better opportunity and I found it within these very walls. So I'll still be in the building. I'm working on a project that I unfortunately cannot describe what it is. I can't.
You still can't
I can't. No, I can't. I can't.
You still can't say what it is.
I can't say what it is.
All right.
There's like a no. I'll look down and whisper.
If I knew what Dan was leaving to do, it would be awesome.
But you don't know.
I know.
And I mean,
that's
honestly,
the paradox.
The reason I can't tell you is like there's this big legal embargo, and it's going to be announced as part of something else later this year. That's really all I can tell. I can tell you that I'm staying in the world of gaming, and I'm staying in the world of editorial. So I will still be shoving my opinions down people's throats.
Good.
And I will still be doing it about games.
But one of the best piece of news out of that is that you're still going to do KOXM.
I am still going to be on your more respectable sister podcast, KOXM, and I feel bad actually that I haven't been able to swing by, but I was on my way out tonight, and I was like, you know what? I think I will just pop in and make everything inconvenient for you. How you doing over there, Charlie? Good. Good. Don't say anything, Charlie.
That's Charlie. That's Charlie.
I didn't know, man.
He's trying to
that wide.
he's trying to click on you and nothing's happening.
I'm glad.
Kick out.
He's
Dan
just pulling
Amrick.
random items out of his pocket.
I know,
just
that-
sort of pushing them against you.
That doesn't work here. I don't know what to do with that.
That bus pass doesn't do anything in this room.
You He's trying to combine his iPhone with a Subway Club card.
Maybe I should try something else.
Nothing is solved. I'm glad you stopped by because we just asked the community question.
Well, I'm part of the community.
That's right. Now you are.
Now more than ever.
Now you can get to take part in the question of the week, which we've already answered.
Oh.
And this week, and it's kind of a tricky one, unless you already know ahead of time.
I don't know. What is
the question of the week? You should have some interesting answers that are not the same as ours, for sure. What are it's kind of a basic question. What is your personal top 5 games of all time?
That's the biggest question you can possibly ask anybody.
I know, especially on the spot.
And it's not just which ones you think are the best, but which ones do you continually go back and play.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Things like, not like you played it once and loved the shit out of it, but like you could play these over and over again, and you will never be tired of them.
I can do that.
All right, let's do it.
I can do that. My first 2 are easy because I'm an old arcade rat, and these things were designed to be played over and over again.
I wanted.
So you like Coin Machine and Hoop and Stick.
Yes.
He likes the QuickTime Event arcade machine from Shenmue.
Crocodile Bop.
I just press A. I just want a giant A that I can just press over and over
winning
again.
so much.
I'm winning so much more than I was yesterday.
Number 1 is Time Traveler.
No, not Time Traveler. Oddly, I don't think any Laserdisc games would have to appear on my
LAS-based games. Beautiful.
Robotron 2084 is currently my favorite game of all time because it still kicks my ass.
You know, I just played that for the first time and loved it.
Oh,
really? What about I never saw it in an arcade ever.
What about Robotron 64?
No. Yeah, Robotron 2084. I still.
Which, by the way, I
lot.
will be 103 in 2084.
Excellent.
In case anybody cares.
Thank you. I see your math skills are still as sharp as ever. Tempest for years was my number 1 game of all time.
But that's stuff.
The reason I liked Tempest, and honestly, the reason I like Robotron too, it just doesn't feel right on any home console. You have to be playing a 400-pound piece of plywood to make those things feel right. They worked on some home versions of Tempest. They never came out right.
Wasn't that the Killer Jaguar app?
It was, yeah. Tempest 2000 was really, really good, but I still missed the spinner, and I missed, sort of like the original experience. So
I love the spinners. I'll be there. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
No.
I forgive you.
Interstate 76.
Really?
No, nobody else is going to say.
I love it.
Wow.
I wasn't into MechWarrior, and I'm not even like that much into cars. But blowing cars up while listening to funk, I was all about that. And featured the voice talents of John Delancey, Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I know him well.
Fantastic soundtrack by an unknown LA band called Bullmark, where they just basically did awesome, perfect 70s funk. I loved that game like nobody's business, and I am still looking for it to be re-released in some form that I can play on a modern computer.
You didn't like the Xbox Live version?
Vigilante 8
my bad.
Vig 8 grew out of I-76, same assets, different developer, and more of a like Twisted Metal ripoff. But and I liked the original Vigilante 8 really quite a bit. Don't like the XBLA version as much, and really just miss for the. I mean, you could adjust what weapons were on your car, on the hood. Different cars had different like hard points. You could have a turret on top of the pickup truck, but not necessarily on like some of the other things. It was the MechWarrior engine, but it was with 70s muscle cars, and the whole thing came out of the fact that the guy that did the game was shopping for a like a 70s Barracuda. And he was the MechWarrior dude, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do like these two things together. He was doing so much research into 70s muscle cars that he's like, why don't we just do this and build this thing around? So I-76 is to me like the lost classic.
Is that Robotron Tempest?
Robotron Tempest, Interstate 76, which was for the PC. This was a DOS game originally. It was a big deal when it came out for Windows 95.
Start it up.
Portal. This is the
concur.
only sort of modern game, but nothing. I love puzzle games, and that one hit me.
Yeah.
The black humor was so black, and it was so funny in unexpected ways, and it really, I think it's the first true revolution that we've had in puzzle games since Tetris. I think that it forced puzzle players to think in a different way. I can keep playing it now. I want to keep trying those challenge modes, and every time they've re-released it with extra little doodads, I do it. I think it's 100% brilliant.
Every time someone comes over who doesn't know games, I show them Portal because it's kind of astounding and really funny, but there's also a flow to the humor that you have to experience in order And that's a part of the game. The game is GLaDOS. Experiencing GLaDOS is part of the game, and doing that in order is vital to the experience.
I mean, the narrative unfolds subtly and very hilariously.
And like any puzzle game, the whole point is that anyone can play that.
Yes.
Like it's a gun game without that many guns. Like only the turrets really shoot at you, and it's in a thoroughly non-violent manner. I don't know.
It forces you to think in such different, interesting ways that I'm floored by.
That's 4.
That's
Number
4.
5, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, these aren't in order.
Number 5.
I had trouble. I'm thinking, like, there's several things that could go here. I could be totally a douchebag and say NBA Hang Time because I'm in NBA Hang Time, and that would be a totally douchey thing to do. Name dropping. So
Dude, my dad totally owns NBA Jam.
Yeah, totally. Man, there's a lot of games, but I'm going to go with a dark horse, Magical Drop 2 for the Neo Geo.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
Under
that
the criteria
thing downstairs in our cafeteria?
That actually is the one downstairs in
Yes,
our
we
cafeteria.
do have
I wonder how that got there.
It's like Must Have Moved to me.
No. And Magical Drop 2 is...
No, did you get...
Oh, hold on. Let it sit.
Yeah.
Must Have Moved.
Must have moved. Other than a spoonerism, a bust a move, I don't get it.
It's Must Have Moved backwards.
Oh, I get that.
All
That was the joke?
Yes.
It's really...
All right, give it to me again.
Man, Magical Drop is like Must Have Moved. Oh, Dan, it's not that funny.
Oh, no,
Dan
no,
also
it's not.
acts,
It's
by the
really-
way.
Yeah. Well, under the criteria of a game that you can keep going back to every time over and over again.
Can you do that in Spanish?
No.
All right.
The criteria being, it's a game that you want to keep playing over and over again, and you're still challenged by today.
It seems like a good iPhone game. Is it on the iPhone?
I don't think so, not yet. Well, thank you for letting me come on and kick Charlie Barrett off. Anytime I can inconvenience Charlie Barrett is a good day in my life.
We love it. We'll get him back in. We love you. Come back anytime. Okay?
Interstate 76 really is kind of my Gabriel Knight, isn't it?
It
the
is.
obscure PC game that only I like, that nobody else understands why.
The difference is you don't continually find reasons to bring it up.
Before you
That's
leave,
because
though,
I'm not on the show often enough.
Before you leave, though, what's the status of the next palette swap?
That's what I was.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. I will give you something that I actually have not even blogged about this.
Oh man.
Jude and I are currently working in various states on 3 different things.
Really?
Jude has given me the drums, and I have to do the guitars on track number 1. We'll call it. It's a relatively recent track.
Lady Gaga.
Well, it's not quite that modern.
Okay.
Also, it's music.
Oh, burn.
Damn.
Damn.
All right. The second track we have in concept, and then we are working on a long-form project, and that's kind of all I can say about
Like
it.
a concept album?
A concept parody.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a long time, so don't exactly hold your breath for it. But we're talking about it in context. We know what the story is that we want to tell, and we know what thing we're going to parody.
Is it Glove Ball Wizard?
He's a glove ball wizard. There has to be a twist. It's we're going to see if it works out. So I don't want to. We're thinking about it and we're planning it. And I was listening to the source material and I'm like, fuck, this is going to take a lot of work. So I'm thinking sometime next year we'll have that one ready. It's that big. It's that ambitious.
Try to have it ready for TalkRadar 100.
When is that?
Probably in May.
Yes.
We may have it done by May.
You may.
We may.
Good God.
Thank you to your fans for I won the favorite guest poll.
Yes.
I was
That's
actually honestly touched by that. For one, I didn't think that your listeners remembered me from show to show. I figured they listen, they drink, they black out.
No,
and
they
then
go back.
wait.
They listen to the
come
whole
up-
catalog.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's an amazing body of work that
You're
I'll...
not actually Dan Emmerich Jr. in the forum.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
That was downright fucking creepy.
I thought that
when
was just-
I logged in and saw some kid in a Ghostbusters outfit.
I thought that was just an excuse for you to curse.
No. I don't see. I can curse whenever I want. I'm a big boy.
Bam.
now.
All right,
Dad.
Charlie, get in here.
All right, Daniel, love you, sweetie.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, I'm so glad he stopped by.
Oh, Charlie, you were booted off the mic. Are you still
I'm a little angry at him.
Not boo. What did you go and do? Go and get
I
some
went and played
Sun-Maid
Gabriel
cookies?
Knight, and I had a pretty
I
son.
didn't know a man could cry so much.
Especially while playing Gabriel Knight and drinking a Capri Sun.
It's a nightmarish combination.
Let's get out of here. What's everybody doing next week? I want to plug Joe's article in the GIFs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The animated GIFs
hysterical.
They're really good. Look up. It's on the Games Radar.
He's been telling me about this all week, and I've been so busy, and I didn't. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. Good.
I was
good.
really impressed.
It was very, 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 very
it's
funny.
really good. It's called Games Invade GIFs. It's animated GIFs of people like failing at things that you've probably seen.
Take that shit.
And he just threw sprites in there, like NES sprites, and they're all really they're all good.
It's beautiful.
They're funny.
This is what it gets for me.
Oh man, Charlie, you had an article go up today.
Indeed it is. So there's an article, What Happened to 2009? We just were talking about Splinter Cell being delayed and Red Steel 2 being delayed and all those games you haven't heard of, like Ghost Recon 4 and I Am Alive. And there's been some other ones. Basically, 2009 seems to be slipping through our fingers, and we have some games to look forward to, but a lot of the games that you're looking forward to are gone. And
are gone.
We're just going to look at that. And then I have a top 7 for a special themed week coming up soon.
Yes.
Is it next week?
It's the week after next.
I'm doing the top 7 for our next theme week.
And I will only say as a tease,
I'm doing the top 7, and I'm also doing something else for that week that's going to be really stupid about my favorite awful game.
We're going to sit down tomorrow and we're going to figure out which state sketch is going in. Yeah.
I've got something for not the first theme week of next week, but the one after. And then after that, I'm not sure.
And I got to take a dump!
Boy. If you're ever lonesome and blue, think of me hard up and run hard in my thoughts of you. Missing you, I know that you'll always give me a boner. Yes, you'll always give me a boner.
Boner.